Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 229 of GG's Mouthful Cop. Wait.
What?
I can't even. I just had like a little mini stroke, I think. GG's The Mouthful Podcast is what I meant to say. I said Codcast.
Codcast. Oh.
Wow.
You had a moment. You had a moment.
Did have a moment right there. Jeez.
What
Forgive
I meant to say is GG. But you notice I inverted the G's. You notice? You see what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I said the first G as the second G, and then the second G as the first G.
Yeah, it's going around. A little.
Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, a little dyslexia. I think is that part of that? Who knows?
Although I guess a real backwards GG will be like G.
Oh, if you're the recording, right? If you do the recording backwards, that would.
Oh, I mean, if you do the recording backwards, it's gonna sound huge. There you go.
I'm gonna snip that from one of our things, and I'm gonna make that the transition.
It'll say, "Give your soul to the devil" or some shit like that.
It may.
That was a subliminal message.
Yeah. That's why we designed it to be GG. Let's be real. That's the ultimate purpose.
We couldn't get away with GGG.
Yeah.
Make it look like,
that was a little too obvious. Obvious. Yeah.
Exactly.
That voice, of course, is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister. What is up, my friend?
Bring it up the deuces. The GG deuces.
The GG. Sir, I got to ask you a question, and I'm wondering if you know this, because this happened to me like fairly recently before this podcast. And
it's okay, man. It's happening to everyone. You know, we're at that age, you know, and
common middle age issue.
It's a common, exactly. You want to buy, and you want to buy a convertible, right? That's I know.
Sure. For a minute there, people were like, "Geez, what does he do before the podcast?" Guys, sometimes
we're quarantined, so we're safe.
We are quarantined. This is right. No. Do you know if black snakes are poisonous?
Oh. Wow. Well, you know,
I walked out of my front door and you know, I'm just got my earbuds on, and I'm about to go to the store for something, and I hear this rustling, and then I look down, and I assume it was like a lizard, because there's plenty of fucking lizards out here. But I was like, oh, that's a big lizard from the rustling, you know what I mean? And I look down as a fucking black snake, like jetting away from me too. So I'm like, well, at least it's scared of me.
Oh, there you go.
But it was a fairly, if I had to guess, I would say maybe 2 feet long. You know what I mean? And I started thinking, I was like,
2 feet.
Shit, is that poisonous? Do I have to worry? You know, do I need to call somebody? Is there like animal control? Just like, look, I think we have something here needs to be removed.
If it's big, it could be like a cotton mouth.
Oh, really? It wasn't big. It wasn't like those big headed snakes. It looked like a snake, like a small snake. I mean, it was like probably, like I said, the length of my arm. You know what I mean?
Did it look like that it had scale? Can you see scales on it? Because I think that's my. No, if it looks more like a worm, then I'm cool, you know. But if it looks like, if it has scales already, I'm like, that shit's gonna breathe fire. If I let it, I'm just gonna run. I'm not even gonna trust that shit, you know.
Well, there's no fire.
The snake is not to be trusted. All right, it's in the Bible.
I thought this is very true. Yes. I thought that all snakes had scales. I mean, don't they all have scales?
Yeah, but if you can see them, like if they're like very noticeable, first of all, you're already way too close to them.
Depends on the distance, right? If I'm staring right at it and it's right on my foot, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, I see scales.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
No, I don't think I saw.
If you can see the fangs, that's when you're in trouble.
It's too close. Yeah, it's a little too close. Yeah.
Close.
No, I didn't see any scales, but I definitely assumed scales were there, but I didn't see any. And like I said, it just jetted away from me. But I
Yeah.
was just curious because I was just like, this is the first time I'm seeing a snake. Like in my area, you know what I mean?
Mm.
I saw one before when we
Damn.
went kayaking with Nelson and a few friends, and we saw this water moccasin, I think is what they called, and
Those are the
that's a
cottonmouth.
poisonous one.
That's
Those,
that's the one that I was talking about. The cottonmouths are the water moccasins, and those
oh,
are scaly. Those look like prehistoric. I was gonna say. No. That I mean those
dragon
look
like,
Jurassic. Yeah, yeah, dragon like. There you go.
yeah, yeah,
Well, not really, but yeah, that's the typical. That's the type. I feel like that's the type of snake that you tend to see in the eastern states for
mhm.
the most part. And yeah, those are poisonous. So you don't
Yeah.
want to fuck with
Those
them.
I knew, of course. I had no doubt on that one,
You
which
want
is why we kept our ass in the boat. We're like, nope, we're not getting out. Throw that shit over there. But no, this I was just curious because I'm just like, man, caught me completely off guard.
let me
You know,
tell
I
you.
was like,
They are. I mean, it's. I'm glad that you were that you were double checking. You were not getting close. Hey, you
well,
were careful.
I was following it, but like from a distance and not running at it. Just kind of because well, first off, I was walking towards my car, so I was that's the direction I had to go anyway. But I was looking to see where it was going. It went into a bush, and I didn't see it come out of the bush. So either it's got a little home in there, or I don't know. So
Oh,
that's why I'm like, I don't know if I need to call someone. Is this, I have to look it up, right? We have the internet. I don't know. I haven't looked that shit up, but
yeah.
anyway,
Google's your friend. You know,
yeah,
also
yeah.
your friend, pest control,
The that's what I'm saying. I was
animal
like, I might have to call
control.
them.
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Pest control. That's what I meant. Yeah, pest control. So
tell that snake to hit the road because
hit the road, Jack.
we'll get run over or something.
For
No
real.
joke. People, this sounds very ridiculous, but back when I lived in Puerto Rico, the right next to me there was this it's kind of like not a mountain, but like a hilly, jungly area basically
Hmm.
that we used to love going hiking on. Anyway, whenever it'll rain a lot, like we'll always have problems with like little snakes or centipedes or stuff like that. Well, the one night, my mother woke up too, and she went to the bathroom, and from out the toilet, bro, from out the toilet, she saw this humongous, like the size of my thigh,
Damn.
almost, or maybe that's exaggerating, but of my forearm, let's say the size of my forearm. Actually, that thing was thick as fuck, and coming out of the toilet, and
Oh
she
hell
thought that
no.
it was like because you're groggy, you're sleepy. She thought at first it was like like a part of the vacuum cleaner, one of the old vacuum cleaners. Like, and until she saw him move, and dude, that was it. The screams that
Yeah, I was going
yelling
to.
at like 4 in the morning, like looking for a neighbor, looking for someone that will kill it, because that thing was humongous, and there's no choice. I mean, you have to kill it, and
Yeah,
nobody's gonna get on it. But it was all draped all towards the you know uh from toilet all the way out to like the sink and stuff. It was
wow.
that shit was
Yeah.
nasty.
Good luck sleeping, people. Good luck
Yeah,
sleeping after all this.
or taking a shit.
Or taking a shit. Yeah, from now on. Oh man,
Uh,
that is
sir, what is it
hilarious,
that we
bro.
do with this podcast every Friday night when we record? And then, and as a follow up question, if somebody wants to find us, where should they go? I feel like we don't talk about that often.
You're absolutely right. We haven't mentioned it in like months at this point.
Yeah,
Guys, first off, thanks so much for tuning in to the Creature Nightmare podcast. Uh,
we trigger a few of you,
for real, I'm
a
sure we
few of
have.
us.
First off, if you can, go to goodgame.rocks and join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do, guys, is first we go into what we have been up to, move on into some various news items, and then finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, PlayStation 5 Date and Price, and so much more.
You said it. You said it. I believe it was your words. Yeah, they were your words that I'm misquoting here. But the idea was, the same, that, of course, by next week, soon is going to have to talk about release, or else.
For sure.
And I forgot what was the rest of that sentence.
But or called it. They clearly have no plan. This is what I was going to say. If we would have to this podcast today, and it still had not announced anything, then they have zero plan.
No plan.
Clearly, the showcase that they had obviously was pre-recorded. You know what I'm saying? You already know they just had it ready. It's like, what? We just want Microsoft to make their move, and then we're going to make our move, and that's exactly what happened. So shortly thereafter, our podcast, they had put up that they're going to have a showcase, and they had a showcase here on was it Wednesday, and so we're going to go into it. Actually, it had showcase, like a serious showcase with
quite a showcase, I would say. I didn't see it, I didn't watch it, but I read about it, and I saw I saw a couple of the trailers that we're going to talk about, and it kind of like it cemented the fact that yes, this neither one of the consoles, I would say, they're starting with like an amazing assortment of launch titles, but then again, that is every time, that is always the case on every launch ever. But actually, I probably shouldn't say that. There probably have been some good launches. I just don't remember. But
there's been some really bad ones. Yeah.
There's some really bad ones, exactly. This one, however, I feel like they not only have prepared what they have for launch day, but also what they're the months to come. It has stuff to have us looking forward to, and it looks very interesting. So we'll get into that.
We will, and we also get into some of the, shall we say, miscues that happened, a little after. So it's not all glory for PlayStation here, guys. So we'll get into that a little later on in the show. So let's start with what we have been up to, sir.
Yes,
what
sir.
have you been doing?
Well, I have. What have we doing? I play a little bit more of Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, because I said I was gonna trudge to it. Believe it or not, it has kept my my interest. Not because it's anything wow, extraordinary, and all this cool story or anything like that. No, it's because it kind of takes me back to. But hell, when was this out? 2012, 2013, maybe? It takes me back, and I enjoyed the soundtrack. The fighting seems interesting also, but it's not. I don't feel like it's the one that's gonna I'm gonna stick to it all the way, because there are some games that are coming pretty soon that I'm gonna be interested in playing. So I might have to end up interrupting this one. And at one point, honestly, I sat down and I didn't even want to play. You'll notice a pattern here. I haven't touched my PlayStation in a real long time. I don't have an explanation for that. I don't understand why. I honestly, I didn't even.
I have an explanation. It's a simple explanation. Wow. You hate PlayStation.
Well, Dr. Mad Dog, since you have diagnosed my problem, I guess we go on record and say I hate PlayStation. I guess
It's been the issue
you
this
know what?
entire time, really.
What a realization! It's like no wonder I couldn't be bothered to pre-order the damn thing. I was like, when it was pre-order day, which I guess it was like the most exciting thing that happened this week. Um, and the clusterfuck that it was, but we're gonna talk about that later. Uh, I was like, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a go. If I get it, fine, cool, because I eventually gonna get it. Hello, I'm not, you know. But if I don't get it at launch, I think I'm gonna be okay. Like my mind is set right now on something else,
Mhm.
and I got that something else, and I'll tell you. But yeah, yeah. I guess we should say I did try to get a PlayStation on launch, on pre-order. Sorry, I tried like twice. Best Buy will show it on my
Cart.
on the cart, and when I went to pay, it'll say, "Hey, something happened." Whoop, gone. It'll take it out. But then I'll go back and it'll put it on my cart again. And then I'll try to check out, and again, it'll say that it's gone. So the third time, I managed to get it. I managed to get all the way through payment. To like I already had uh, PayPal actually, because I have
Mhm.
it set up for I had it set up for PayPal, but not necessarily for the PlayStation, but for the other thing. I have it set up to where to order it quick, and I was ready to go, and then like a voice told me, like I felt a voice inside me telling me like, yeah, you're gonna already spend some money, to be spending another, $500, because I decided I want to go with the fat, not for any reason other than I have a vast catalog of PlayStation games that I know I probably will not go back to, but I want to feel like I could if I wanted to.
The options
Yeah,
there.
the options there, including the Yakuza games, and I don't know, it feels if to me like I have tons of respect for people that have been able to get over the hey, I'll just go digital this time. That's the way that's the way to go. It makes sense. Um, it feels a little bit too weird for me to jump on it, which is kind of fun. It's kind of silly thinking about, considering the fact that I game on PC. All my games are digital. I don't have discs. I don't even have a CD-ROM or a DVD-ROM or a Blu-ray or player on my computer. So I don't know why that feeling, but I figure, okay, if I'm gonna spend $400 on on this thing, I might as well put the extra on the Blu-ray, and I don't know. I'll say that I use it for movies, which is totally a lie because I don't watch movies. um, but at the end, I changed my mind. I was like, no, I'm just gonna wait, and I canceled the order. And I was like, nobody's gonna believe that I did that, so let me record it just in case somebody doesn't believe me. I'm gonna record myself putting cancel on a PlayStation 5 pre-order, and who knows, I might regret it later on down the line. But the thing is, I this week, uh, and I realize this is going to be the most exciting part that you want to hear. This is the part that interests you so much. Uh, Nvidia released its latest flagship video card, the GeForce RTX 3080, or the 30 series.
Mhm.
They call it. Next week is going to be the 3090, which is the 50, the $1,500 card that it's. They don't call it the flagship, but because that's ridiculous. That's like the Titan. That's like the highest end. Um, After I saw the performance of this one, that I bought, and the reviews came out, and it showed the actual performance, not the marketing spiel that the Nvidia CEO gave. I was
Mhm.
convinced that, oh yeah, this is at least double the performance of the current card that I have, right now, which is no slouch. It's I have a 2080 RTX right now, but for $700, I'm gonna make the jump on it. And because I was already spending that, I was like, I'm gonna hold off on the PlayStation 5 because right now I haven't even played PlayStation 4 titles, and there have been some bangers, out there. And for some reason, I mean, I'm playing on PC. Why am I playing on PC? Well, I mean, that's
Let's
something
hear
we're
what groundbreaking title is keeping you from trying the shrink wrapped Last of Us 2, which is a clear contender for Game of the Year for many folks.
uh,
Or Ghost of Tsushima, which is another contender for Game of the Year that can only be played on PlayStation. So,
true. I know, right?
what massive gem are you playing on your PC right now?
Um, I'm I was playing the Division 2.
Amazing. That's like one of the top games of like 3 years ago. So yeah, man, good job.
Last year, it was my last year's game of the year, if you recall. I was playing the Division 2. Again, I finally beat I beat the expansion campaign, the Warlords of New York or whatever the hell it was called. So I beat that, and I have been playing that for the most part. I don't know. I guess, and that's not to say that I'm like super into like the grindy games or anything like that. But for some reason, that game calls back to me to try it, and I get stuck for a little bit, and then I let it go, and then a couple months later I just pick it up and continue, and it feels very natural. It's my destiny, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
um, but and I think that and there's gonna be more content, more seasonal content for the Division 2 that is gonna be coming out. I'm playing on my own. Like I know there are people in the group that own this game, but I haven't made a push for to invite anybody because I know I'm not gonna commit to it like 100%. At some point I'm just gonna get tired of it and stop playing it. And um, but yeah, I think I I think I have come to realize that I'm more in love with the technology, part of it, part of things. I bought this car and I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to play Flight Simulator with everything, crazy. Which apparently you can because Flight Simulator is a new Crisis. Oh, and by the way, Crisis is gonna be it's released already this week. If it hasn't already, maybe next week, but it's coming. It's like right there. They released a new fucking Crisis so that we can go
Nice.
back to making the joke of but can it run Crisis? And to top it all off, there is a setting. You could go to maximum settings, and then there is a setting after maximum, which is it's called "Can It Run Crisis?" So I'm gonna check to see if my 3080 RTX can actually run Crisis because I was able to snag one.
Nice.
Actually, I was able to. Let me tell you how that. Let me tell you how that went because, you know what? I didn't do any gaming or any movies. All right, so let me just tell you what I did, the
Like,
little bit, and I'll pass it to you.
you spend
So,
the week just trying to get devices.
on Friday, yes, exactly. The whole week. No, no, no. But I knew that I wanted to stay away for this one because the the release was like console guys. I love it, but to understand, I have to make it. I have to show it. Imagine, if you will, it's like the night of pre-ordering the PlayStation 5. It's basically that, you know, or better yet, launch day. Actually, the day that is launching, and because you can pre-order. No, that's not true because you can't. You can make pre-orders, or some argue you can't really. But the point is that you were not able to pre-order these cards, um, and it was they're gonna be released, and that's it. You're gonna have the opportunity to buy them. They sold out, and this is not a joke. This is not an exaggeration either. They sold out in less than 10 seconds. The whole allotment. Well, not really the whole allotment. What happened? What happened really was I was on the Nvidia website. I was F5ing like a motherfucker as soon as the entire night. And what I mean the entire night, it means I didn't go to sleep. I slept for like 2 hours. Sorry, I slept for 2 hours. My plan was I'm gonna be F5ing from from Wednesday at 11:59
Mhm.
all the way to the wee mornings of Thursday. I'm gonna get some sleep. If I don't get it, if I'm not able to get anything, and then I'm gonna wake up, and in the morning I'm gonna go to Best Buy because they open at 10. I went to Best Buy. I went at 6 in the morning. Not there were I know that they weren't open, but I wanted to scout the situation to see if there was some sort of
A
line or
line
anything
or
like
something.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. There was no one. But the moment I parked, somebody came on behind me, so I knew that I was the first person, but there was gonna be a line,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was not gonna sit down
You,
and wait.
you went to count the line and you didn't realize that you started the line.
I started a line. Yes, yes, yes. This is the Best Buy by what's it called, by Reinhardt. Right there in
Yeah.
Lake Mary. Anyway, I knew I had to go. I wanted to go back home because it was either order it, get it here on Best Buy, or get it online. I have no idea Best Buy even had them because they were completely mom. This was the absolute 100% worst launch of a product ever. And we can all make fun of how the PS5 pre-orders went. At least they have pre-orders. This was, hey, this is the day that this card is going to be released, and 10 seconds later they're all gone because bots, people program bots to be able to buy
Yeah.
this so that they can scalp them on eBay, kind of like they do with, as I understand it, with the sneakers fan crowd. um, whenever the limited editions and stuff like that come out, they do that. They have scalper bots get the whole allotment before anybody can make an actual order, and takes away, and then the real customers are fucked because now they have to go to eBay where they're commanding ridiculous prices. I was on Reddit the whole night reading how things were, the people that were on launch. I was basically imagine like a virtual line at a store back when stuff was gonna get released, except that you weren't guaranteed that you were gonna get one. Or sometimes on those lines you weren't really guaranteed that you were gonna get one. But it took me back to that era of the PlayStation 2 launch day and da da da. If you didn't pre-order, you're gonna have to do a line, dude. It was horrible. It was a craptastic launch. The websites, all the websites crash. Newegg crash. Amazon never put them on, never put them for sale. They have the storefront. They have the new 3080s, 3080s. They never went on sale. Uh,
Smart.
I know, right? What the hell
Yeah.
are they doing? Are they stocking up on them for like what reason? But people want to give money now, and some of them are being stupid and giving it to scalpers. You know, which is a hilarious thing that is happening now is that the people are making fake eBay accounts just to
Mhm.
like drive up the price to like ridiculous ridiculous amount that
Jesus.
nobody will actually pay. Like some of those cars were going for upwards of 70 and 80 thousand dollars on eBay, but you could tell nobody's gonna pay that.
Mhm.
They're just fucking the scalpers as they should be. I saw people on Amazon already posting them for like double the price. And I gave an idea to the people of Reddit. I said, you know what? Because I wasn't gonna do it. Somebody should buy the card, open it, and then return it. Get their full money back, and now the fucking scalper doesn't have a brand new in the box
The box,
card.
yeah.
Or better yet, do a switcheroo, and now you have a good a card. I didn't post that part because I'm just thinking of that right now, and I do not recommend anybody doing that. That's completely against the law. Um, but like, yeah, fuck the scalpers. Scalping at that sense, I guess, is not illegal, but it kind of is. I don't know what the laws against scalping, if there are any, are. What I know is that that entire day I had off. I took the day off, by the way. I had planned already to take the day off, and as a precaution, I also took next Wednesday off because I said I'll probably be so upset that I was not able to get a car, as if that was a reason to get upset. Haha. But just planning, just in
Mhm.
case. Also, it doesn't hurt to have a day off. That I took next Thursday off as well, because next Thursday they're releasing the 3090. I don't want to spend that amount of money, but if I
But
had
just
to,
in case.
I would have. I think I would have. I think I would have justified it myself, because that's MSRP price. Those cards are gonna go, even higher in price.
Mhm.
Anyway, that entire Thursday, I spent my day. This is literally what I did in front of the computer, checking several websites, hitting F5 on each of them. If I got up, probably it was like, let's say, half an hour to rest my eyes, or to go, or to eat or something. But I'll go back to it. My wife was working, so I told her I offer, my help if anything. But I was just F5ing, F5ing, F5ing the whole way until at 6:22 p.m. on a Thursday night of launch date, of the 3080, of the RTX 3080 cards, I was able to to get one from Newegg, from like a blip. Like, when I say, because that's what was happening. They will blip into existence, and they were gone. So I imagine when the PlayStation 5 is out, whoever didn't pre-order, and they say, "Oh, we have this," they have this allotment. Yeah, you're not gonna get it if you didn't pre-order, and if you don't got your pre-order guaranteed already, you are not gonna get it unless you want to go to some nefarious shit, or pay scalping,
Mhm.
scalper prices, or anything like that. So, uh, but yeah, at 6:22, bro, I get the confirmation, and the thing is, it was almost by accident, because suddenly I grabbed two cards on the checkout, and
Oh
I
wow.
didn't even know what brands or anything like that, because I mean, those cards are like, it's basically copies of a reference card, so it really don't matter. Um, but sometimes they will mark up the price a little bit if, hey, this one can overclock a little bit higher, which it doesn't matter, because an overclock on that card means 1 frame per second more. It's like nothing. But yet you're paying like sometimes even $60 more, or $100 more, or anything like that. And anyway, the thing is, I grabbed two different brands, and I just didn't care. I was like, fuck it, I'm just checking out, whatever. I'll just cancel one. One of them fell down, kind of like in the movies, like, oh no, Jimmy. One of them fell down, which is the one that I actually would have preferred to own. I lost it, but I still had the one that I was able to check out, press the button, PayPal payment, and it goes through, and I get a confirmation number, which, by the way, doesn't mean that I have it yet.
Yeah, I was
No.
gonna say you need a
Sometimes,
confirmation email, no?
a lot of times, what was happening was, you will get them, the people will get them through, and I was reading all this, the whole drama I was reading on Reddit. And I apologize. This went a little too, a little too long. I want to close up now. Um, the I was reading the whole drama on Reddit, and people were being upset because they will get them. They will actually get the confirmation from, like, whatever store, and
Mhm.
then later on they'll receive an email from the store. Hey, due to the unprecedented demand of it, and we don't have the stock for it, so we're canceling your order. So, and I was ready for that, because I see so many people have that happening to so many people that I was like, okay, if he cancels, and whatever. I still didn't get the one that I wanted, but now I'm being picky about looks, right? More than anything, because the
Mhm.
card is still an amazing. It's an awesome card. So and some people were buying them from stores in Germany, like from Amazon in Germany. Like, I guess the international Amazons were selling, some of them, but the U.S. Amazon never. They look at the map and they were like, "No, we're not opening the store. Fuck that shit. We're not. We're not
They're
doing
just
it."
gonna randomly put it up there on some random Tuesday evening,
Dude,
and it'll just pop up, and you're like, "Oh, hey,
at
look,
three
it's
in the
there."
morning. At three
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
morning, I think that's how I ended up with a PlayStation 4. I want to say, almost like it was almost like a random thing. I could be, or maybe a PlayStation 3. I don't remember. Anyway, uh, it was hilarious because then I get the confirmation, because it changed real quick from order taken to, the money had already been charged, so now and now it's getting packaged, you know
Hmm.
uh, although it say it'll ship tomorrow. So I was still nervous because that could still mean anything. That could still mean like, oh, you know what, we just realized we don't have it, sorry. But no, this morning I got the tracking number and I double check and I check, and sure enough, the UPS has a tracking number. So I was it was like it was like winning the lot. No, well, not like winning the lottery, but it was basically a lottery win at that point,
Hmm.
of me being lucky, I guess. Like, dude,
I
the
mean, you're doing the work, so I don't know if it's luck. You know what I mean? I mean, 'cause
no, no,
you're
but
there.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of right now. If you were to go to the Nvidia Reddit, on on Reddit, duh, and you were to go to the thread, is it's talking about launch, something about the launch. You will see people at this very moment that we're recording, still in virtual line, hitting F5, checking. Some of them were able to somehow. I'm not gonna call it a hack because it was not really a hack, but it was a kind of like an entryway into checking the stock amount of Nvidia cards.
Hmm.
And when I say Nvidia cards, I mean like proper Nvidia, because Nvidia does the reference cards or the Founders Edition cards, and then they have the board partners, which makes their versions. I was able to get it from the board partner. I wanted an Nvidia one, but it didn't really matter. It's the same. It's the same shit at the end of the day. Um, but they were able to somehow get it to where it'll show the amount, uh, that they have, the allotment that they have, because apparently what Nvidia, and this came in the news. I just didn't decide to include it because we don't have the audience for it. But the Nvidia was actually going through the orders manually to see which ones were bots, so they would cancel those orders and then put that card back to where, I guess, at some point next week it's going to be available again.
Again,
you know
yeah. Okay.
but you have to grab it like immediately. They don't even put like a captcha. They could have actually put a captcha and made it a little bit harder. Not that captchas cannot be defeated,
Hmm.
but by
Still, it will
bots.
curb some of
But
them. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, it will curb it a little bit. So you don't realize there's a lot of young people that are into this, into this stuff. I mean, we think, oh, that's the elitist, but no, not really. It's, yes, there's a little bit more, involvement, or not. I wouldn't say involvement, more like uh, spending, when it comes to PC, to the upfront spending, upfront investment. There you go. When it comes
Hmm.
to PC gaming, because you can get the games for real cheap, so that's not the argument. Uh, but the hardware and stuff like that, it's not open to where like everybody could get it, but there are a lot of fucking people. When they were saying that they were experiencing the major retailer that they were experiencing traffic akin to the traffic that they experienced on Black Friday, which to me, I'm like, well, no, that's probably BS. That probably you weren't prepared. Let's be real, because there can't be that many. But there were like 20 or almost 30,000 people on that Reddit thread alone, commenting and stuff, and it was kind of fun in a way, of course, because I managed to get one. That was fun.
Yeah.
At the end,
With your outcome, it was fun. If it would have
yeah, it was
been,
my outcome. Like I'm sure right now it's not fun for the people that are still F5ing the Amazon store, which at this moment is still let's see, Amazon. Yeah, there's still all of them says currently unavailable. They have
Mhm.
not opened for people to get them from freaking Amazon. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Anyway,
That's
enough about the 3080. It's the only thing I have to really talk about, man. You can talk
well,
for the
sir.
rest of it. Let me have this moment. I don't have a lot of PC list, we don't have a lot of PC people in the group. Uh,
No, I
so
think most are. I think most dabble. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Most
the primary the primary gaming they
gaming
will
primary, yeah,
they
is going to be
yeah.
console, but most do dabble in it. So I
Yeah.
will. I can definitely understand.
Our very own
That's
Chaos Reaper. He has a computer. Actually, you have a computer. Well, you have a laptop, but
yeah,
I will I can understand. But yeah,
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 awesome. Well, I mean, I haven't. I guess I've done a lot of little things. This is really what my week has been. I guess starting with gaming, I finished Mark of the Ninja remaster, which was pretty cool.
yeah.
Um,
Oh wait a minute, yeah,
yeah.
you did beat that last week.
Did I
Mark of
beat it
the
last week? Oh, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
if
yeah.
I know that I brought it up. Yeah. So I did beat that, and I just jumped into in on the Switch. I jumped into Cuphead, which I actually got on the Switch because I actually have it on. I believe, speaking of PC, I actually have it on my laptop as well. Um, but um, but yeah. So I got into Cuphead. I've just been playing a lot of that, dude. It's just one of those games where it's
Yeah.
obviously it's not. I don't know if I'd call it a grind. Really, it's just beating a level or a boss or something like that, and it's so much fun. It's very charming. Love the art style. I'm sure most people already know about it. I mean, the game came out in like 2017 or something like that, and
Uh,
it is an excellent, excellent game. And again, I'm playing it on the Switch. My issue that I have isn't about the game though. It's this particular game has opened my eyes to an issue that I'm having with my Switch, and that is
oh,
that when it's docked, it has moments of input lag, and in a game like Cuphead, it's pretty evident.
oh,
You know what I
dude,
mean?
yeah,
So
you
it's just
can't
like
you can't have any.
correct. So I'm noticing. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't have just run off this edge or something like that. And I was like, there's something up. Um, you
I
know,
don't suck this bad. Come on.
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe if it's my first time playing it, you know what I mean. Maybe as I'm getting the handle of it, but I'm just like, there's something definitely up. So I'm like, okay. And so I look it up. I go online and see, what's and yes, there is a known input lag issue from when you're playing it with your controller and the Switch is docked. So I'm
So
just
are
like,
you
oh,
playing?
you have got to be kidding me.
Are you playing on the on your TV? Do you have it
Mhm.
set up to gamer or to games or whatever the
The
setting
oh
is?
yeah, yeah, yes it is. Hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah, yeah. You always want to play on that setting and calibrate for games on that setting because it takes away that setting will take away a lot of the post processing that happens that is meant to enhance movies and shows and stuff like that, but they don't really do they
Anything for
don't
game.
really help
Hmm.
anything on gaming because graphics on the games are digital. But it that post processing introduces a lot of lag, and even if it's milliseconds, those are milliseconds that
Yeah,
it's
no, it's all it takes.
not
Yeah,
responding.
that's all it takes.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
was saying. I was like, I don't know what it is. So of course, I'm looking up forums again. I'm just like, okay, well, let me see what the fuck I can do here. And they're saying, make sure your devices don't have your Bluetooth set up and all this other crap. And I'm just like, guys, I just need this game to play. Stop the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Now,
It's to stop
now you're
the
like,
ridiculous crap. Yeah.
not like, listen, I don't play PC games for this exact
For
reason.
this exact reason, and you're telling me I need to do all this other stuff behind the thing just so it'll minimize it. I'm like, no, 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 no. I need this to be fixed, guys. Fix it.
You know what? I
So
think these consoles need to. I think one of the key points that they have to address is that it's not so much graphical fidelity, because I think we have achieved looking pretty good.
yeah. I
Uh,
think we're
but
at
gameplay.
the I think we're pretty much at the very edge of what
Yeah,
graphics can look like on a game.
yeah.
But anyway, I started playing it. I undocked it and then I set up the little handheld, but I don't like playing it in handheld mode. So I literally set up the little thing right in front of me and then had the controller. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this actually works. It's not bad.
uh,
Anyway, so yeah, so I got into that. I haven't beat it, obviously. I'm just kind of playing it. I'm really playing stuff now just to play stuff. I'm
mm,
not. There's nothing of story quality I almost feel like I don't want to now. I really just feel like I just want some mindless game. You know what I mean? And to just
yeah.
kind of occupy my time. And not that Cuphead is mindless, but it is just run and shoot and a side scrolling shooter. It's essentially what it is. Um, but yeah, so that's what I'm playing there on the Switch. I am playing on my PlayStation Snake Pass because I got this on a sale a while back. And
Snake Pass.
Snake Pass, yes, a little game from I think this is Sumo Digital. Let me
Oh,
see. Let me make sure this is them before giving them Sumo Digital. And essentially what it is, it's essentially a 3D platformer where you play as a snake, and you use a specific game mechanics to traverse the world, but you're basically using your snake to wrap around
mm,
things. And it's a 3D platform in the sense that there's a strategy behind how because if you don't do it right, the snake will just keep falling down. And
uh,
but it is, like I said, 3D platform in the sense, like, think Banjo Kazooie or even Donkey Kong Country, where you're really just trying to collect stuff so you can get to the next area. And
uh,
so it's actually pretty decent. It's an okay game. It's fun. It's
yeah.
cute. It's got a little charm to it. The snake mechanics are almost frustratingly real. You know what I mean? It's like you
Snake
really have to make
mechanics.
sure you really have to make sure you're wrapping yourself on so you can move up.
Uh,
And it's pretty
so it has a
challenging.
quirk. It's not just your regular platformer. It does have some. Would you
Yeah.
say physics? What when
Yeah,
you?
that's what I'm saying. Physically, in the sense, like if you try to move forward, first off, it's a
Uh,
snake, right? So it's just going to be on the ground, and if you're moving forward, it's going to move mad slow in one direction, right? So what you realize that you have to do left and right so that the snake
uh,
slithers. You know what I mean? And then
yeah.
you can move faster if you're slithering, right? But if you're just moving straight, it's going to go very, very slow. So that's one
Now I
mechanic.
blame
Then
you
you have
for it. See,
they, yeah.
this is the
Then
reason.
you have
This is the
to.
reason you're getting snakes, because now you have mastered the way to move
I
a
guess
snake.
so. Maybe
Charming
I'm
them.
summoning them. Yeah. So then of course you have the X button will make the head move up, but it can't obviously, it's a snake, so it can't stand up for very long. It'll start coming back down. So you got to make sure you get onto something, and then
Mm,
with the stick, make sure it goes around. I think you hit the L1 button to grip, like if it's wrapped around something, it'll just kind of grip it and hold on to it without. So
uh,
there's a little puzzle element on how you get stuff like that, and like I said, it can be frustrating because sometimes you're like right at the top, you fucking fall all the way back down. You got to start over again. So, but it's not bad. It's again another mindless game that I can probably listen to an audiobook or something in the meantime. You know what I mean?
oh,
While I'm doing, because I'm not. The story is this little bird who apparently is a friend of Noodle, which is the name of the snake, and
Noodle. Of
so,
course.
of course, yeah. So you got to go collect these gems to lock up these mystical gates. I mean, it's nonsensical, the story. You know what I mean? It's just, hey, we need you to figure out how to traverse this area so you can find these little stones so you can lock the gate. You know what I mean? It's all about the gameplay in this case. And then once you get it all, you lock the gate, move on to the next area. You know what I mean? So it's, again, very, something I don't have to pay attention to. I want to go back to Control. I really think that's what's killing me. It's like I don't want to start anything. I've been watching Chaos, by the way, guys. A good gamer group on Twitch. Chaos Reaper has been streaming his gameplay of Control. He's actually playing the game, and I'm so excited for him. So I'm just like, and watching him play, I'm just going, God, I want to go back to this game. I
need to go back to it. Oh, you need to, because you haven't played the expansions, and I understand you want to replay it even.
Well, I have no choice. Remember, I lost my I lost everything from the thing, and then the cloud. I ended up saving over my cloud save with an earlier save. So I was like, oh,
I need to go back to it. Because I haven't played the latest
AWE.
The AWE expansion. But I've held I figured, well, that's gonna be my first like real full RTX game that I want to play, and I want to have something, something cool. So I'll be holding for that one.
To test it out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I've seen it there, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. But anyways, that's why I've been just kind of playing these again, not bad games. They're obviously, Cuphead is a game of the year contender for a lot of people, and and Snake Pass, I don't think Snake Pass got anything specific. So, but anyway, that's really what I've been playing. Watched a couple things. First off, I rewatched the 1990 movie, 1990 film Dick Tracy.
MJ.
I saw it's on HBO. And I saw this and I tagged it. I was like, man, I remember kind of enjoying that. So I tagged it, never watched it, just kind of left it there. And the other day, I'm like, I just want to watch something again, not mindless, but something I don't really have to put that much attention to because it's new. Yeah. And so I threw it on Dick Tracy, and I'm going, this is actually not bad for what I remember. It used a lot of the same. You remember the original Batman with not the original, but the 89 Batman with Keaton.
Yeah, of course. The Michael Keaton one. That era. I feel like that was the era of those like high contrast colors.
Yeah, because they had those cityscapes that you knew looking at it were not real, but they were done in a certain way. You go, wow, this looks like a page ripped out of a comic book, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So Dick Tracy used that a lot. And the difference between the two, obviously, Batman was much more darker. It was with Gotham and all this stuff, but with Dick Tracy, it was it was daytime. You know what I mean? So so it was a lot more. Anyway, I dig it, man. I remember Warren Beatty, because was playing Dick Tracy. Madonna was playing Breathless Mahoney, and she was, I gotta say, man, she was looking pretty good back then.
She was looking pretty good, yeah. She wasn't acting pretty good, though.
No, she was not. No, she was certainly not. But then again, I don't think the role called for much. You know what I mean?
Considering.
Wasn't a lot. Yeah, wasn't a lot going on there. There was a lot of silly lines, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But they did them on purpose to just kind of pay homage to the original serials and all that. So anyway, I'm not going to talk much about Dick Tracy. I just saw it, and it happens to be on HBO. So if you haven't seen it, you're interested, or you want to rewatch, it's in there. On Netflix, I watched this little series. It's only 7 episodes long. I'm sure there'll be another season. The episodes are actually very easily digestible, at ranging between 19 minutes to maybe 25 minutes. It's a show called I Am Not Okay With This.
I am not okay with okay.
I am not okay. And I think if I have to look this up, but I think it's based off of a graphic novel series. Um, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. Anyway, so the series stars this young girl. Her real name is Sophia Lillis. She plays Sydney. You know Sophia probably from um, It. She played the red hair girl, short hair girl in It, the remake. The It
Oh,
movie.
yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she plays the main character Sydney, and I think another kid who's also from there playing Stanley, a kid named Wyatt Olef, also played in It. He played Stanley in It. So you got two two people you probably recognize from that movie,
Yeah.
and this is a really really well acted young cast series. And there's some older people obviously in here too, but for the most part, it's really, really well acted. So the main story is, and I'm gonna keep it light, just anybody who wants to watch it. But this girl finds out that she has some abilities, but the way the series are, literally in the first episode, she is in a dress covered in blood, running away from something, and it immediately reminds me of Carrie. It's
Oh
like,
shit. Yeah.
whoa, you know what I mean? And so the episodes just kind of all lead up to obviously to that moment. And so it's actually really it's really well done series. I enjoyed the acting behind it. I actually felt, I was like, man, these kids are really good at delivering, the emotion they need to deliver here.
Yeah.
It really reminds you of high school, reminds you of all this stuff that you've gone through. There are some moments that are obviously a little bit over the top, and it's like, okay, this one dude is, he's the jock, and he's like, come on, it's almost a
Stereotypical.
caricature as opposed to, yeah. So there's one or two that you're like, wow, come on, guy. All your other guys
You're
have some
hamming it.
depth.
You're hamming it.
Yeah. All the other characters have some depth to it. This one here has to be the caricature of the whole thing. But anyway, definitely recommend it. And like I said, it's very easy to digest in as far as the size of the series.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure if they haven't said anything, but it just came out this year, so give it some time,
Are
see
you
if
working on?
people like it, and then maybe they'll have a second season. Technically, the way the season ended, I'm like, it would be a cool ending to just end it that way. You know what I mean? But
Oh.
well, who knows? Who knows?
Oh, they didn't realize that they could make a lot of money of it and decide, you know what? Let's
Well,
go
it's
ahead
just
and extend
Netflix,
it a little more.
so the
Oh yeah,
revenue
then
is
definitely.
different. Yeah. Apparently,
Then never
what I
mind.
found out recently is that with Netflix, they make more money on new shows, because new
Oh,
shows bring new viewers,
oh,
and
true.
that's
Yeah,
what they want. You know what I mean? So when you have a
makes sense.
show that's gone on for too long, it's not really bringing new viewers. It's keeping your existing, but doesn't bring new people. And so,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a different pay model or revenue model or whatever. But anyway,
yeah.
last thing I saw was another Mulan film.
I saw that. Oh, I saw
uh,
that you saw.
yeah,
I saw that you
uh,
saw that. I saw that you saw.
yeah. Hua
Tell me about
Mulan,
this
which is the Chinese 2009 Chinese film that also tells the tale of Ballad of Mulan. And so this one here is way more serious, way more let's just say this could not be Disney at all.
one. Okay, there you
Disney
go.
couldn't do this, or at least wouldn't do this. You know what I mean?
Could ABC
But
do it?
no, I don't think ABC could
Oh,
do it
then
either.
shit. Then okay.
It's a little bit more rough. It focuses more
Can
on her.
HBO do it?
The
No, go
HBO
ahead. Go
could do it, obviously, yeah.
ahead. HBO can do it. There you go. All right.
Yeah,
We finally.
yeah. It focuses on a little bit more on her time with the military, and she basically ends up spending 12 years with the military, becomes a general, which is really awesome. Yeah, it's really badass. I'm not gonna lie. So there's a couple badass moments. She does know how to fight, but there's an explanation behind it, as opposed to the 2020 where she just magically has chi, and that's what makes her so fucking powerful. Here, early on, the father goes, to a lot of his friends in the town, you guys, you really shouldn't have taught her kung fu, because now, she can't get married. No man's gonna want a woman who knows kung fu. So she's been raised knowing how to fight. So okay, now you have your reason. You have your reason why she is good as a fighter. Now she's not this unstoppable force either. She gets hurt. She has moments of loss and stuff like that. I gotta say,
she's
man,
not a grandmaster.
She's not no grandmaster. This is not Hero or anything like that. They're not the kind of battles that they have. But I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. It's like I still think the animated Mulan of Disney, to me, is still the best. This one here is a little bit more depressing because she goes through a lot of loss. So a lot of, like, in all the other movies, all her soldier friends, they're all there at the end. You know what I mean? That's not the case here. You know what I mean? This is more about the loss of your comrades in battle. So I gotta say, man, I was very, very impressed with it. I didn't think, it didn't start off well, I guess, or maybe it started off a little bit faster, kind of just jumped through a lot of stuff and then got you to the military. And then when she was military, you spend almost the entire movie in that area. And also very early on, very, very early on, a friend of her knows that she's a woman. Or two people know, so it's not like the other one where it's a secret for the majority of the time and it gets revealed later. Spoilers here for anybody who hasn't seen Mulan, but I'm sorry. You gotta know. You gotta know what it's about already. You know what I mean? People
Damn it, man! Come on! What are you doing?
I know people have not seen it and still know what it's about. So I'm like, okay, well, there you go. You know what I mean? So, anyway,
we're now around spoiling stuff just because you've seen it. With no care for those of us that don't. No, I'm kidding. I'm obviously kidding.
Yeah,
the movie's old enough to where it's like, come on. Also, let's be real. With the source, knowing about Mulan originally from the source material that I know, which is from Disney, you sort of could tell how the story's gonna go.
Exactly. It's nothing is a real surprise. This one here, that's one thing I will say. This one here did bring surprise. I was, because again, she's a fighter. She becomes a general. You know what I mean? A general. You know what I'm saying?
Why are you saying like that? Women can be generals. What are you trying to imply?
I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, really, if you think about it, do we have a female general? I'm not even sure we do. I mean, it would be awesome if we did, but I don't think we would. And here's this tale of a story that happened, allegedly happened 1,500 years ago, and she did it. Obviously, everybody thinking that she's a guy, but really, anyway, really, really cool. I don't know why I suddenly fell into this rabbit hole of Mulan. I do know why, because it's 2020.
You were very disappointed.
Letdown, yeah.
For the same reason, I ended up buying a whole computer or building a computer when I saw the horrible video of that the Verge did on how to build a computer.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
You felt like you needed to, at least for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Fix it. That's probably the most apt reason, because it's just like, I need to wash away, the 2020 Mulan, of which I spent $30 on, with actual good content, or good tale. And anyway, by the way, this film is on YouTube for free, so you can actually just look up.
So you didn't even have to. Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So this makes up for spending $30.
For free on YouTube Red, or for? I mean, do you have to be subscribed to YouTube Red or whatever they call it now, YouTube Plus or whatever, or is it like a video?
I don't know. I didn't say anything about being specific on there. That's a good question. Because
they do have closed content, and that sounds like something that they will.
Well, let me bring it up here.
If it was produced not produced by them, but if it was licensed by them to show or something.
I don't know, because I have found like full films available on there. And I don't know if it's just not caught or what it could be, but let me
You're just
use
taking
it
for
here.
granted. Hey, I can
Yeah, of
watch
course. Yeah.
Wonder Woman 1984. Who would have thought? All right, I don't have to go to
No,
the
it's
theater.
available. Yeah, it's available. English subtitles. I'm doing
Okay.
this through the GG account, which doesn't
Oh,
have
okay.
red, and it's available. Yeah, it's an hour and 54 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you're wanting to, if you too have also watched 2020 Mulan and feel the same way I do, where you almost need to wash your mouth out of the taste of it. Allow me to introduce Hua Mulan, which is on YouTube for free, which will tell a much better tale. But anyway, that's all I've been doing. We are now. Welcome back, guys. It is now time for the useless news that you can use.
Trailer of the week. Oh wait, we don't have that.
We don't. We don't unfortunately have.
I pressed the wrong button on the soundboard.
Well done, sir. This is what happens when you lean on the keyboard by accident.
Well, last podcast, evidently, I left a previous transition music in the middle of talking. So.
In the middle of talking, yeah. I was listening. It was like, was this on purpose? And my immediate thought was, okay, so he's adding background music to what he's saying, but what he's saying isn't really like this big.
It's not
deal.
related to the background music.
Exactly. I was like, I don't know what's going here, and I realized it fades in and fades out, and I'm like, oh, that was a transition.
I messed up. Yes, I have a template. All right. Okay.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough.
My weakness.
Well, there is a trailer, but I saw it, and I don't know if it's the Mandalorian season 2 trailer, and I was like,
you already know what to expect. It's
yeah,
out
exactly.
of the week.
Exactly. I'm not actually even looking forward to it.
Oh wow!
Just done with Star Wars.
Hold on. Wow, really?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, yeah, dude.
You
Rise
are
of
that
Skywalker,
done with Star Wars, really?
Rise of Skywalker has literally like just destroyed it. Destroyed my childhood. I think at this point, if you really, I've said this before, if you really think about it, okay, the last. So regardless of what anybody says, I love The Last Jedi. I think The Last Jedi was extremely bold, very daring, extremely well edited and directed. Yes. I get that some people have some issues with some of the decisions and all this other stuff. I get it. But it was interesting. It was it was bold. Essentially, it was bold. It was like trying to erase this copy that they've been doing for the last two trilogies. It's like we can undo and move into new ground. Yeah. And so yeah. So I loved it, and then Rise of Skywalker just literally shat on the entire episodes 7, 8, and 9. Now that entire trilogy is garbage because of the last one, basically. Yes, okay,
it's rotten. Yep.
It's rotten, yeah, so you have it now, right? Now you go back and go, well, you know what? At least I have the original trilogy. No, you don't, because a certain gentleman by the name of George Lucas kept tinkering with the shit to the point where there is no version that you have where it's not altered and ruined by some update. You know what I mean? So the original trilogy is now not good anymore. So what are you left with? Now you're left with the Anakin trilogy, and you realize this is the best trilogy now.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
At that point, it's like the realization of there is no hope.
There is no hope. There is no hope, regardless of what Princess Leia says. There is no hope.
There is no hope at that point. Like, wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I concur 100% with you that if I were to compare this last trilogy versus the Anakin trilogy, hands down the Anakin trilogy, I felt like it felt definitely more Star Wars, and now I see it as, well, at least it was not this new
At least it
trilogy.
wasn't this, yeah, and
At
it
least it
didn't get
wasn't this.
ruined, yeah. So that's I think I told you I was gonna write this, and I just never had the fucking time to do it. But I was just gonna write something regarding
Oh,
how
I would have eaten that up. I would have.
how the realization that the best Star Wars trilogy is episodes 1, 2, and 3 right now. You know what I mean? Because you cannot, unless you have the original VHS box set of the original trilogy that has not been altered in any way, because you can't find it. It's not out there. Disney won't have it. You know, Disney will not allow that to exist. So it's not that you can just find it somewhere. Or maybe you can find it online. But do you really want to go through all that? You know, it's just like, there's no way of getting to it. It doesn't exist, but only in our memory. And this last one has been utterly ruined. And oh, by the way, this last one also, in a way, ruins the original trilogy again. You know, because it's like, oh, so everything that happened in the original trilogy, it's like, oh, the Emperor and all this fight, and no, he came back.
He came back.
So
Yeah, exactly.
all that shit means nothing. You know what I mean? So
I still read it. You know what? To me, and it is one of the reasons why I kind of like, I don't care for anything that actually that happens after, Return of the Jedi. I guess like the expand this
expanded
new
universe.
Yeah, the expanded universe, because this particular trilogy to me is like bad fan fiction. And it was sad because it didn't start that way. It started a little too familiar, but we were still excited because, like, it was kind of cool. That the character, I did enjoy Rey as a character, and most of the characters that were established, except with the fact that they were going too close with the formula. Like, oh, okay, so we got BB, BB-8 is the new R2D2, and and the whole plot of that first movie, which was, you know, uh, uh, A New Hope, basically.
Yeah.
A copy of A New Hope. It felt a little too familiar, but it was still exciting. It was still seeing Star Wars again and seeing the whole thing with, and then you're right. That's the what's it called? What is it called? The second one?
Which one? Oh, Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Thank you. Took it to places where it was like we have the oh shit moment, like, oh, I did not expect this to be happening. Like it should, you know what? It should have fucking ended there.
3 moments, 3 major moments. I can name them right now. 1, the death of Snoke. I did not like Snoke to begin with. I figured, oh, here we go. They got another, instead of the Emperor, you got this other fool. Okay, and he's gonna tempt and blah 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 blah, and he gets killed. And he gets killed in a moment where he thinks he's triumphing.
Yeah,
fucking amazing. Okay, the second one is the kid at the freaking end. You know what I'm saying? With the, it's like, oh, everybody has this midichlorian. Well, you know what I mean. Everybody, anyone could be. It doesn't not need to be from the Skywalker legacy. Anyone can be that fighter. And then the third was, this was just more of that moment where at that moment I was just like, oh shit, I cannot believe that just happened. When she goes light speed into a fucking fleet of fucking Star Destroyers, I'm like, holy shit.
Wait, I thought you were gonna say the third part was Luke, like he just like cleaning his shoulder of the whole blaster gun.
That was cool. That was that was very cool, and I liked it a lot. But it wasn't that, oh shit. Right, it wasn't that oh shit moment. Because I knew as he was blasting, okay, I'm not sure how he's doing it, but he's gonna get out of this. You know what I mean? So I didn't have any doubt that was gonna happen. I just needed to see it happen and to whatever. But these 3 moments that I'm mentioning here are the moments where you go, oh snap. You know what I mean? That's the thing that you have in your head. And first off, Rise of Skywalker doesn't have any of that. And neither does Force Awakens. You know what I'm saying? Force Awakens did not have any of those awesome oh snap moments. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think this was such a special film. Not perfect. I'm 100% agree with it. It's not perfect, but it was everything I wanted. It was treading new ground. It was saying we need to let go. They were fucking burning the Jedi text. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, we need to move on. I felt like this was going to introduce the great Jedi and all this other stuff. And it was like, oh my God, the potential, the you know. Anyway, guys, I know we were off on a tangent here.
And that was our surprise stealth topic of the week. Star Wars.
Yeah. In conclusion, The Mandalorian season 2 is coming out. There's a trailer. Go look at it if you care.
Real quick, I just want to say if anybody's interested in watching the original, well, as original as it can get, I guess, of Star Wars, because obviously those things have deteriorated and whatever. But there is a project called Star Wars Despecialized Edition. It doesn't like. I feel like you have to look on the internet for it. Like all the websites that talk about it, none of them give you links.
No,
it's almost like
if they do, they'll be shut down.
Exactly. yeah, exactly. The Disney empire will rain upon them if they destroy their planet.
their arrows will blot out the sun, guys. Yeah.
Yes, I can see that imagery exactly too from Disney. But it does. It's meant to like take away all the special, the special effect and stuff like that. It leaves the quality. I mean, the idea it leaves the enhancement, I should say. I don't know, the DVD look or stuff like that, but it takes away all the extras because you're right. Right now, you look at the original trilogy or the newer versions of the original trilogy, and those movies are ruined. For sure. Freaking Hans, freaking Greedo missing a point blank shot that he never did.
Exactly. He went from
being shooting without flinching because
in a moment he went from being this guy that Han Solo had to do this to get out of danger to being Greedo went to being this absolutely incompetent freaking bounty hunter. I'm like, he was never in any danger. If he missed he was worse than a stormtrooper. Why would anyone fear that freaking guy?
I know.
Oh my God.
It was. But yeah, there you go. That's our Star Wars moment, because we are still bitter about a movie that came out almost 9 months to now, or whatever.
I know. Yeah, I know for sure that I am bitter, and for those who enjoy Rise of Skywalker, look, man, I'm not trying to fucking yuck on your yum. I'm just saying.
Oh, I am pissing all over it. I don't care. You have bad taste, sir or ma'am, if you're gonna tell me that you like that garbage piece of shit that destroyed not just the trilogy, but the entire freaking franchise. Because look at him. Look at Mad Dog right now. And you would argue, or you couldn't argue, that Mad Dog is one of the most level-headed, completely fair, as fair as they can become, gentlemen of the movies. And he will give everything a try before he has, any opinions on it. And he now does not like Star Wars. Like the other day, I think I sent you a trailer. I was really excited to see this trailer, not because of what the product was for necessarily, although I am looking for getting that game, which is the what's it called? The X-Wing versus the new
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron, is it?
Isn't that Squadrons? Isn't it Squadrons?
Squadrons, yes. Star Wars Squadrons. Yeah, Star Wars Squadrons coming in October something. and it looks pretty rad. But that trailer. Please, some of you saw the trailer at least. You should humor me every
I
now and
did
then.
not.
Oh
I did
man,
not see
I
it.
shared
Sorry.
it with you for a I know you don't like Star Wars anymore, but that trailer, I wanted to show you like this is what I would really like to
From
have
yeah,
a game based on because it's from the perspective
I
of
read your
an Empire pilot, and it's
I
amazing.
read your comment. In
Yeah.
my defense, I read your comment, so I knew exactly what the trailer was going to entail. I just didn't watch
You didn't watch
it.
the trailer.
I
It,
just
it
didn't do
breaks
it.
my heart that I send you videos and you do not watch.
Sir, have you
Uh,
watched Passengers? The thing that I sent you.
You know what? We should start the news part already because we are like 15 minutes into the
Yeah,
second,
we
and
are, and we have not.
we haven't started talking about the news. So, what's your first piece of news?
In my, all right, my first piece is. Oh man, my first piece is today actually. Night City Wire, which is CD Projekt Red's sort of video series leading up to the release of Cyberpunk 2077, had its third episode, and it showed off some stuff. I mean, it really kind of delved into the different gangs of Night City, which I swear they have to be like 12 of them. I'm like, I can't believe there's that many fucking gangs. You know what I mean? And they all look and act and do things different. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I also went into the city design and stuff like that. It was a little bit more technical, a little bit more just fluff in the background to kind of give you, excitement. But they did release the minimum system requirements and the recommended system requirements for those playing on PC.
Ooh, lay it on me because I haven't read them.
The minimum requirements operating system would be Windows 7 or Windows 10. The processor Intel Core, this is for minimum, Intel Core i5 3570K or an AMD FX 8310, 8 gigabytes of memory, graphics card minimum Nvidia GTX 780 3GB or an AMD Radeon RX 470. And also, as far as storage, a minimum of 70 gigabytes. The recommended system requirements, obviously Windows 10, Intel Core i7 4790 or an AMD Ryzen 3 3200. Memory would be 12 gigs. A graphic card minimum or recommended, Nvidia GTX 1060 6 GB or AMD Radeon R9 Fury. And they do recommend storage being an SSD. So,
wow.
What do you think, sir?
Sir,
I think that's easily obtainable, isn't it?
That is,
and I don't even know PCs that well.
And I don't understand a lick of what I read.
No, honestly, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you how I realized this when I was watching the thing and I was watching some people react to it and they're going, "Wow, that's we thought it was going to be more." And I was like, "Okay, good, yeah." So
for the way that it looks, I mean, for the way that game looks, yeah, and considering and thinking of Witcher 3, I was thinking that we were gonna need a powerhouse, but no, it looks like they're using the Witcher 3 engine. Or I will assume that they are, but they have managed to work on it and optimize it because the recommended settings, when they say recommended, this is their way of telling you this is how we want you to see the game. This is how we would prefer. Obviously you
it's
can
like
crank
the
higher
difficulty
usually.
setting. Yeah, it's like the difficulty setting that they go, this was designed to be this difficult. So
This
you
was
should
meant to
probably
be right. Let's say, and that sounds incredibly reasonable. There's hardware there that it's got to be like close to 10 years old, except for the 20. I mean, they said 1060.
1060.
That's not an expensive card at all. That card gotta be less than $200, especially now with the new releases. You can get that card probably cheaper. Probably less than $100 on the used market. If you were, and if they're saying that's not for the minimum, that's for the recommended. I'm impressed. It sounds like it coming up with something, polished, that runs very well. Nothing here screams can he run Crisis?
Crisis. Yeah.
That's what That's what goes to. I mean, the game's not released, and I still don't know. For all intents and purposes, they could be a Bioware levels of bugs, but I doubt it.
True.
I
Yeah.
doubt
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that tells me, that tells me that honestly, if you want to create an amazing, amazing, amazing game, um, you could just spend your time polishing, the engine and polishing the graphics, and suddenly you don't need to brute force your way through it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the problem with a lot of games. They want to have all the bells and whistles, but it takes a behemoth of a machine to run them because they're not optimized.
They're
You
not
know?
optimized. Yeah, I was just going to say. I think that's where the main difference comes in, and you can see that in games where you go, man, how does this run and look so well? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
going back to Control, even when I'm watching this guy playing again, and when I was playing it again, I was just like, man, this game is pretty. This game has a
Yes.
lot of little things where you go, man, if you really really think about it. I mean, sure, the color palette
Mhm.
isn't colorful and stuff like that, and that may affect, but obviously the color palette was designed for the type of game that it has, and it makes sense how it's
Mhm.
done there. But it's a gorgeous looking game, and I'm just going, and these guys, got it to run here. You know what I mean? And it's like, this
Yeah.
looks like a game that should run on PC really, really well. You
Yeah.
look at Ghost of Tsushima as well. It's like, man, this thing just looks
It's a
freaking amazing.
perfect
How the
example.
hell? Yeah. And by the way, it was like they had to extend loading times. Yeah, it's like when you have someone who is or a team that's really working behind the scenes to get things optimized correctly. I think you can come out with a much much better product
It is
than
possible.
having it
Yeah.
rushed. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
kudos, man. Kudos to these. Kudos to CD Projekt Red to getting all that being within that range
Yeah,
of requirements.
seriously. That
Yeah,
that 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 sounds that sounds amazing. That sounds like it's a game that, hey, and for those that are wondering, well, what does that mean for consoles? But nothing but good news, obviously,
yeah. I
because
was
if you
gonna
don't
say,
need that much hardware to run it, at least we can, the least we can hope is gonna be like a very nice solid 30 with like graphics that haven't been uh, you know, that they haven't set the low settings on it.
yeah, yeah.
Basically, it's gonna look really good also. So that gets me even more excited. And now with freaking ray tracing support, dude,
Yeah.
this freaking game is gonna. Now that ray tracing matters, now that they release a card that can actually run stuff, proper ray tracing, as opposed to like the joke that they released 2018. So this this part, or this news piece, I kind of debated bringing it or not, but it sounds like, if true, uh, or if it were to happen, I should say, then it could have some kind of serious implications, for gaming in general, and that is, the U.S. government is eyeing Epic and Riot Games after the TikTok and WeChat ban. So you guys know that uh, TikTok, at least I don't know what the situation with WeChat, but TikTok, the app, you're not gonna be able to download it from the app stores starting next Sunday,
Mhm.
or this Sunday. It is basically, it's banned in the US. So the news piece goes like this: the US government is probing the security protocols of Unreal Engine and Fortnite maker Epic Games, plus a League of Legends creator, Riot Games. Letters have been sent by the US Treasury Department to various companies linked with the Chinese conglomerate Tencent. A new Bloomberg report states, which asked them to hand over data. Tencent owns Riot outright. They own Riot fully,
Mhm.
and they hold a 40% stake in Epic. That's not slouch. I mean, they basically own
No,
half
yeah,
of
yeah.
Epic. You know, when you
hmm
think about it.
They have a say. They may not have the last say, but they have the
Mm.
second to last say
Yeah.
or decisions. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Although they're saying that they don't give a say, but you know they
hmm
if that is true, if even if that were true, the fact that they can, it's scary.
Yeah.
The U.S. Department of Commerce stepped up its trade conflict with China today by announcing it will ban popular messaging and social media apps, TikToks, and WeChat from this Sunday. U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed both collect data on U.S. users, which could threaten security. A deal has been in the works to transfer TikTok operations to a U.S. company, which will see it evade the measure. Less than 48 hours now remain for this for this deal to be finalized. Basically, to worry the worry for Epic and Riot and others in the and others here is that the U.S. government pushing for the sale of Chinese interests in other U.S. companies. So we are a little away from that happening just yet.
Yeah.
And then it goes to say that Tencent owns a stake in dozens of video game companies, including chunks of Supercell, Marvelous, Bluehole, Netmarble, and Frontier, as well as 5% of Activision Blizzard, Ubisoft, and Paradox, which is
Paradox. Yeah. It's another
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah. So the concern here is that if the situation, the trade situation with China, it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
hmm
Our worry here is that, hey, if suddenly we have what if we start having issues with uh companies that are owned or that are partially owned, if you could say, or they have some sort of stake. I guess for Activision, Blizzard, and Ubisoft, and those companies don't have to worry too much because 5% is nothing. They can always just get that back. But what about Epics and what about Riot Games? I mean, what would they do in a case like that?
They will appeal, I'm sure. I mean, that's usually the first
True.
step. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's the. I mean, I'm of two minds of this because we all know what Facebook was found guilty of
Yes.
um, very recently, and Facebook is, that's what is it, Mark Zuckerberg? It's all here in America and all this stuff, and he was part of, and his company is all part of collecting, sharing private detail of user information without letting people know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
If Facebook, which is an American thing, did that, I can only imagine what TikTok, which is owned by a company or owned by someone, a company out in China, who
Hmm.
have their own, laws. I mean, in the end, guys, China is a communist country. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
regardless how you look at it, they have different views of certain of freedoms. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
This
who
is not
knows? You know,
this is
so
not an attack on on the good Chinese people, the population, or anything like that.
no, no, no.
Let
Yeah,
it be
it's not an
fucking known
attack at all.
that is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the case at all.
for
So
sure, for sure. And it's not an attack at all. It's just pointing out. You think about
the
the
government
troubles
owns it.
that what one company did here, that's an American company, and what they were
Mhm.
responsible for. You can only imagine what possible, and I'll leave it at that, as possible nefarious intent
Mhm.
or possibilities can happen from a company that is in a communist country. So I
Yeah.
get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know if Epic is collecting and sharing information like that. So I mean, it all comes down to what what they find. But I know that I'm pretty sure TikTok was, because all those type of apps and stuff do. You know what I mean? So everything's collecting information. In the end, that's really
Yeah.
what it is. Everything is collecting information. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm of two minds. I almost get it. I'm not a TikTok user. I'm not a MeChat user. So I really have zero stake in this argument. I can care less if it's available to us or not.
Mhm.
Um, but I do enjoy some Epic games. So my thing is, if you're not doing what what is believed that you're doing, then you should be fine.
Yeah.
If you are, then in the end, you look at it and go, well, you know what? Maybe Epic was being stupid, doing stuff that they should have done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Or
and again, this is not.
celebrities
Yeah,
for that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, you
So,
gotta you gotta look back and realize that there was a visionary person. Oh, there still is because he's still alive. There was a person that foresaw all of this happening ages ago. You know, I'm talking about more than, well, close to 20 years ago now. Uh, and that person was Hideo Kojima.
yep.
In his favor, in his amazing artwork. Oh, he doesn't like to think of his work as art, but
Mm-hmm.
artwork, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. I mean, if you play that game, you realize that the message of that game basically was about, you know, population behavior control, you know, through AI. And what is basically, you know, what is Facebook doing? You know, why is
Mm-hmm.
Facebook and social media in general such a powerful tool to, you know, to manipulate the population? Well, it's because you can control the message there based on all the data they collect about, you know, about you, just like Metal Gear Solid 2 foretold. This
Foretold,
is
yeah.
not new. This was in the prophecy of Metal Gear Solid 2. Let's go back to it. You should
And in
no,
the
hear me
Kojima
out.
Chronicles.
Yes, exactly. And the book of Kojima, it talks about that. It talks about, because they were talking. Remember, they were thinking that S3 meant solid snake simulation,
Mm-hmm.
when in reality, S3 stood for societal simulation of. I forgot what the other S was. Let's see there. But anyway, it was that. It was S3 was, hey, control of the population through the AIs that were controlled by none other than the patriots. At the end of the day, what you see here, America, is controlled by the patriots. Yes or no? Yes or no?
I mean, it
I
seemed
mean,
that way.
things are insane the way they are because it was foretold on the book of Solid Snake. Oh man, it's
Okay.
amazing the stuff that you learn. You know, when you educate yourself
Agree.
to
Agree.
gaming.
Selection of societal sanity is
There
the.
you go. Selection of, listen to that. Selection of societal sanity. Selection of societal sanity. They get to pick how you feel. The way they manipulate that is, hey, they already know your interest. Tell me if Facebook does not do that. See, it's crazy. I know. That's why now I can't play Death Stranding because I'm thinking like, fuck, Kojima knows something.
I was talking with my wife at one point, and she was like, "I don't know if that's the thing." You know, we were talking about something else. I don't know, and I'm on my phone. I'm like, "Hold on, my phone's listening to me." So hold on a second. And I started typing it out on Google, and it
Uh-huh.
finished my sentence. So I was like, and I was only like 3 or 4 letters in, and I'm like,
It
okay,
knew
you know. So,
exactly.
so
It
I'm
knew
just
ex-
saying, guys. I know that there's some people who don't who are on the band like, no, that's not really, guys. That's really freaking
Dude,
happening.
that is
Are they all
100%.
nefarious? No, they're not all nefarious. They really just want to be able to advertise to you. Really, is the only main purpose. You know what I mean? But yes, there are some nefarious, reasons back there as well. So
Look at what Alexa. I just sent you a photo. Look at what Alexa recommended me to do on the Alexa show. Look at what it
nice.
showed me.
Mhm.
You see it,
Play
right?
Hamilton. Yeah, yeah. Play music from Hamilton. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Wow. Coincidence?
It's
Huh?
been listening to the music, I'm sure. So it's like, oh, he likes this. I'll recommend
Exactly.
it to him later on. Yeah.
Right? I'm telling you, man.
I
I'm
tell you.
telling you. It's the pet. It's the Lali Lulelo. You guys are not.
You guys are just not ready for this
No.
future that we already are in. Uh,
Tune into our other podcast, the Kojima Cast.
yeah, conspiracy
Conspiracy,
Kojimas. Yeah.
conspiracy Kojimas.
Uh,
Yeah, there you go.
yep.
Both spelled with a K, so it's KK. This was GG. The other one's KK.
Oh my
We
god.
can't go three Ks because I think that's copyright already. I think
Yeah,
that's
we
trademark.
end up sending the wrong message there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, my next piece, guys. Believe it or not, Rocket League is
Oh,
actually getting its first season after 5 years, guys. Rocket League goes free to play
it's
on
about
September
time.
23rd. Along with this transition, developer Psyonix has confirmed that Season 1 will begin that same day. Season 1 introduces a new Rocket Pass, a competitive season reset, and several in-game challenges. The Rocket Pass is the main attraction of the Season 1, introducing over 70 tiers of items to unlock, most of which are inspired by Rocket League's 5-year history. Like previous Rocket Passes, the premium track of the Season 1 Rocket Pass begins with a new battle car. Buy the pass and you immediately unlock the Harbinger, which can be seen in the trailer, obviously, which is floating around there. The competitive season resets officially begins a little bit after 3 p.m. on the 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on September 22nd. Just wanted to. I'm not big on free to play and the whole microtransaction, but respect to Rocket League. First off, it's a great game. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't think there's no doubt on it.
there's no doubt. Yeah.
It came out on in a perfect time. There was a lull during summer, and it was free to play on through PlayStation Plus, and it just took off. That's it. Developer Psyonix had struck oil, gold, whatever.
For
You know what I
real.
mean? So, and they did it. They created a good game, and so here we are, 5 years later, and they're actually getting
I mean,
their first season going.
correct me if I'm wrong, but that was another PSN offering when
Yeah,
it was
that's what I'm
when
saying.
when it
Yeah,
came
yeah. It
new.
originally came
So
out on
it was
PlayStation.
yeah,
Mhm.
it was perfect. It was a perfect entry
Yeah,
for
agree.
sure, for sure. Um, I had one. Oh yeah, because we were speaking about games that are still getting updates after so long. Hello Games or Hello Games.
Yeah, I remember.
They tease the next No Man's Skies uh, update, and it's called No Man's Skies Origins, and it's out next week.
Oh shit.
What?
Okay.
Halo Games space exploration sim No Man's Sky is expanding once more, and the developers have now teased its mysterious new Origins update, which is launching next week. There's little in the way of specifics regarding the update at present, but Hello Game calls, quote, the beginning of something new as No Man's Skies continues to grow and evolve. Okay, well, yeah. Then again, every expansion will be the beginning of something new, right?
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah.
We know that I guess there was, let me see, there's another quote here that says, um, see, but while the developers haven't exactly detailed the features coming in to Origins, it has released a fairly small bit of artwork accompany to accompany the news, and is most certainly well. And in anyway, and it looks kind of cool. This is Eurogamer, so they tend to go sometimes into flowery language that is like, "Ah, guys, you are so European." Uh, we know there's a huge appetite in the community for No Man's Sky content, Hello Games wrote in its announcement. And the team has worked our socks off this year to deliver in difficult circumstances. Wow, we have been quiet, but we're always listening and focusing on improving the game that our team loves and feels so passionately about. End quote. Uh, I have a message for No Man's Sky developers. Guys, Stop. You're done. All right. You have more than overproven already that this game is a 10 out of 10 right now. Yes, I got it. You guys wanted to hear it. There it is. This game is amazing. It is revolutionary. You guys made it. You guys fixed it. You can stop working on it now, for
I
real.
mean,
Because I don't even.
sure.
They're not charging for this. This expansion is free.
Mm-hmm.
So where are they getting their money? Because I'm pretty sure that everybody that wanted to play No Man's Sky, I've already gotten a copy, especially on promotional deals that have come out left and right.
I mean, that's how I got the copy, and I recognize it, you know, for what it has, but
yeah,
at the same time, it wasn't a game for me, essentially.
yeah.
But I don't regret my purchase. I feel like they've earned it. Of course, I didn't pay the original $60, but I think I pay what it is deserved at this point. You know what I mean? But yeah, they have to be making. Yeah, there has to be some sort of microtransactions or something, right? No, they don't have any.
There aren't any. That's the shocking thing. There's no microtransactions on this thing. This thing is the biggest apology that I have seen a company give, basically.
Well, let me tell you, the next game that they make, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
they did one.
Well,
they released it a while ago.
Yeah. I think. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did something recently.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, if they did something recently, then I guess they're just adding and they're just supporting the community. You know what I mean? As they look at it that way, they're supporting that community.
And I guess, of course, I love to see that. It's like, yes, absolutely. We talked a lot of shit about it, but it was not. It was obviously there were reasons behind it. You lied to us, man. But I'm not gonna bring that back because you are forgiven, basically. What's his name?
Sean
Murray.
Murray, yeah.
You have more than shown that you were definitely capable of bringing your original vision and then some. I feel like and this is just obviously speculation on my part. I feel like he realized that he said a lot of shit, and now to get back to us for all the crap that for all the shit that we have said back when we got the game and realized that it was unfulfilled. He's like, no, I'll show you that I can do this. I'll show you that I can do this. And now we're like, we get it, man. You got this game where it needs to be, and you exceeded where it needs to go. And now he's like, nope, and I'm gonna start something new now. It's like, wow.
Yeah. You know what? For the people who bought in. So yeah. I get it to an extent, as long as you're not in the red. I get it.
That's the crazy part. It's not. There's no funny movement here, or I wouldn't even say funny movement. Like if you decided to put some cosmetic microtransaction on it, I guess.
No, I wouldn't think you need to do that. But if you had a major update, then you go, well, this next update is going to cost $5.99 or $9.99. Then I'm like, hey, you've earned it. You've already delivered a great game, and sure, you'll have your fan base will go, but obviously it's going to have to be worth the update. So it's going to have to be a much major one. But I mean, that's cool. That's cool. My last piece, guys. We've heard rumors. I'm sure you've heard. We've all heard rumors. Mass Effect Trilogy package will be coming to consoles probably for some time now. But recently, there has been some new updates. The first one being... let me get it up here. A Portuguese game retailer has listed the Mass Effect Trilogy remastered for all current gen consoles, but Electronic Arts has not announced the game officially. The website Gaming Replay has listings available for Mass Effect Trilogy remastered PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Curiously, the Switch version is listed for slightly less than the other two. which usually isn't the case for releases like this. It's listed with an October release window, which would be unusually quick for a game that has not been announced. The box art that they show on the website doesn't look to be the final look, and the logo was actually already used back when the three games came to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC. Originally, the series was only on Xbox 360, but made its way to other platforms when EA purchased BioWare in 2007. So, anyway, I'm not going to read anything else. They're just kind of going in the history. But interesting enough, and then of course the other piece was there is a replica of the. Oh dear, I lost that news article. But it was I lost it. Sorry guys. But basically, it was a replica of the ship of dear Lord, Shepherd's ship. What do you remember?
Fuck, what's that ship called now?
Yeah, it's like I feel like I should know that name.
Wait a minute.
Mass Effect 2 ship.
Mass Effect ship. It was in Normandy, bro.
The Normandy. Yeah. You should have known that, dude. I was just going, why do I not know this?
I know. It's
oh my god, crazy. Dude. We are getting old, bro.
I tell you, this podcast is gonna get it's gonna get worse and worse as the episode goes up. We're gonna be like, welcome guys to another episode of GameSpot Presents.
No, it's gonna be geriatric gaming.
Geriatric gaming. There you go. High five, brother. High five. There you go.
That's what going to be what the new GG stands for later on in our life. Guys.
Yes. Geriatric gamer. No one has done that. Me, Jason, get on it.
I know, right? Jason Variello, make it happen.
Make it happen, brother. Oh my God! If anybody can Mad Dog, someone said, "Wow, Jason."
For real. Oh man. But anyway, the Normandy, the replica of the Normandy, was shown as a piece that you can pick up, and it was very recently, alongside the news of Mass Effect. So apparently, I think it's pretty clear that this is going to happen. It hasn't been proved. It has not been officially announced. EA has not said anything about it, but everybody's been clamoring for it. So I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I don't know if October is the window, but we have seen some of these leaks come true. What do you think, sir? Mass Effect trilogy.
It could happen. I mean, people are clamoring for it, but it just makes me wonder, like, what is Mass Effect? Mass Effect 1, remastered. Like, I think of that game, and sure, it's great, but I would not want to play after the updates that were done on Mass Effect 2 and to a lesser extent on Mass Effect 3. I don't want to play the clunky UI and movement and long elevators rides, which if it gets released on PS5, I would imagine that elevator is just going to be like, closes the door and automatically opens right away.
That would be awesome.
To load.
That would be so great.
They're gonna have to introduce like fake loading
for real. Yeah, you'd have to make the trip just a little bit longer.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what is it?
Yeah, I never actually played the first one, so my understanding is it's not. It was a good starting point for the series, but obviously didn't really hit its stride until part 2, and I played part 2 and 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, I mean, it was successful. Don't get me wrong. This is on the heyday of 360, and it was published by a game published by Microsoft, and it was the first one of its kind. Well, if we don't count Knights of the Old Republic, obviously, this was it, because this was meant to be a Knights of the Old Republic game, another sequel, Knights of the Old Republic 3, and then I don't remember what happened with either they couldn't get the license for Disney or they decided not to because it was too expensive, or something, but they were just like, hey, that doesn't mean that we can't make our own space opera,
Yeah.
so let's just do it. And they did, and it was great. It was great. Oh, so yeah, Mass Effect. It also makes sense to make the whole thing a little bit more connected now that we have all three, like the choices. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
fix. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I feel like if it ends up being a mass like a Master Chief Collection where yeah, the games are up res and stuff like that, and they look better, yada yada. But at the end of the day, it's still the same. It's still the same game. I mean, in the case of Master Chief Collection, you will expect them to be because obviously you don't want Halo. You don't want to play the original Halo with the gameplay of Halo 3 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in
Well,
Mass
you
Effect being an
maybe.
RPG, you
Yeah.
could, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we're saying.
Yeah, yeah. No, but the Halo thing is a shooter. You don't want to fuck with it because the people that want to play Halo 1 want to play Halo 1. They don't want to play Halo 2 or 3 and vice versa. That's what I'm
Fair enough.
saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of shooters, Borderlands 3. That's it. Borderlands 3.
Nice.
Borderlands 3 free next gen update confirmed. New DLC has also been announced. Borderlands 3 fans have plenty to look forward to through 2020 and beyond as Gearbox Software and 2K announced new content and next gen plans for the acclaimed Borderlands sequel. Announced during the company's PAX Online 2020 showcase, Gearbox confirmed that Borderlands is coming to both PS5 and Xbox Series X. I feel like they should call it Xbox Series or just Xbox because now it makes you wonder, like, so it's not coming on the S,
Mm.
and it is. And if you own the game on current gen consoles, you will receive a free upgrade to the respective next generation versions, and will be able to carry across all saves and additional purchases. That is really awesome. Uh, the next gen version runs at 60 frames per second at 4K resolution uh, on both next gen systems in single player. Uh, and the arrival of these next gen versions will also bring two requested features that will be available to PS4 and Xbox One players via a free patch. And that feature is 4-player split screen and the option to do vertical split screen for 2-player co op. And then it closes saying, meanwhile, Gearbox also confirmed additional DLC coming later this year. While the next paid DLC won't be similar to the campaign DLCs that have been part of the season pass, uh, it will include both a new game mode and a new skill tree for each Vault Hunter, which also means new action skills. And then it goes, talking about specific skills that I'm not gonna mention because people that have played Borderlands are not gonna know. But bottom line is borderline. Bottom line is sorry.
That was an awesome slip right there.
Yeah. It is Borderlands 2 is it's listen. It is a good game. And I think it's awesome that they're doing they're going the route of, hey, let's just upgrade for free and not the control kind of way of, we tried several ways of doing it, but there wasn't a way that we can make it work to satisfy everybody. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like,
Yeah.
corporate speak at its
That
absolute
is
worst.
word salads.
And
That's what that is.
yeah, we couldn't make it work. What the, get the fuck out of here. So yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah. You can close the.
Okay,
I
yeah.
have everything else. Everything else that I have is. I'm
For
just
the
gonna
hot
leave it
topic.
for the topic. Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. All right, guys, give us a moment. We'll be right back with said hot topic.
Hot topic. the
Don't
people.
tempt me. It would just be the entire episode.
I wasn't joking. I mentioned it, and I was like, oh, he probably thought that I was kidding.
Well, you know what? I want Chaos with us because he did watch it, and I know he enjoyed it for what it was. He doesn't gush about it like we do, but from what I gathered from he enjoyed it for what it was, and he thought it was good. He particularly liked the second half. So. Yeah. But it's one of those things he mentioned a few times. But it's a musical, and I'm like, I get it, bro. I get it. If it doesn't grab you, it doesn't grab you, and I really think that's the thing about this show. It's like no one is gonna walk away going, this shit sucked. You know what I mean? You may walk away going, it really wasn't for me, but you have an appreciation for it. You have an appreciation of what it was trying to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's like the minimum. Yeah. Everyone from there on up, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's just my personal opinion. Guys, we are back with our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic! He's not throwing away his shot.
I am not throwing away my shot. And if I do, is this how you remember me? No. Anyway.
Oh God! Now we're quoting it.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna happen. You're gonna make me watch this shit.
That we're not gonna talk about.
You're gonna make me. I have not watched it in like a week and a half, I think, and I'm kind of proud at that fact.
It's the only thing I have. The only nitpick that I has, against it, and it's like it's really nitpick. It's like it's just much. It's just it's a lot. It's long. It's like eating. I was thinking of an eating analogy. That's why I said much. But I was thinking of an eating analogy where it's like the best meal, but they fucking serve you a lot, and at one point it's like, man, I don't want to stop because it's so good, but I know I have to.
The other day, my wife has probably doubled what I have seen it.
Wow.
Yeah,
so it's basically 24/7 on the Mad Dog household.
Pretty much.
And
the other day, she blamed Hamilton for going to sleep really late. Like I came to bed, I was like, I gotta work, so I'm going to bed. And she's like, okay, I'll be there in a little bit. And she was still midway through Act 1. And it was
you're not gonna
late at that point.
Have a good night at that point.
And she was just like, she came out the next day and she goes, oh, gotta blame Hamilton. I ended up watching the whole
thing. Dude, the other day I was like texting Vero, like, hey, just checking on you. Haven't heard from you in a long time. Hopefully you're doing very well. By the way, you need to watch. Have you seen Hamilton? And she's like, no, I haven't seen it.
Are you kidding?
That just threw me in a loop because she likes music.
I would have bet money she did. Yeah,
it's Pippin. Like I would have put high money on the fact that she's seen it already, and she has Disney Plus. I'm like,
oh my God,
like, what? Like exactly.
It's why like, have Disney Plus at this point? It's not for the Mandalorian, that's for sure. All right, we're not gonna go back down that road. We're not. I promise, we're not gonna go back down.
But episode 9, am I right?
Oh my God! All right, guys, hot topic of the week. For the love of Christ. First off, I assume real quick. I assume you talked her into watching it. At least I hope.
I told her, but like it's one of those like, oh yeah, no problem. I watch it, but it's I don't feel in my soul that I was convincing enough. Like I feel like I should like probe, with questions. Like so.
What you think of Hamilton? Yeah.
Oh, you think of Hamilton?
Oh crap! Exactly. I didn't watch it yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm gonna need you to schedule. Put this on your calendar and watch it. Oh my.
Yes.
God. Anyway.
And that goes for all of y'all listening right now. I don't care who you are.
If us consistently talking about it, has not convinced you, then I really don't know why you're listening. At this point, I think you're just here out of curiosity. I don't know.
Listen, but, Gigi can be summarized in 3 things: We hate Star Wars Episode 9, and thus all of Star Wars now.
All Star Wars now, yeah.
By proxy. We love Hamilton. And oh yeah, something about video games.
Yeah. Yeah. A distant third. Is video games, yes.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah,
oh
for
my
sure.
God. All right, guys. PlayStation 5. Yeah, speaking of video
my
games.
God,
PlayStation
yes.
5 Date and Price. So first off, I'm just gonna go through a quick little recap of what they had. And sir, feel free to stop me at any point if you want to discuss any of these little bits. I know you didn't watch the show. I did watch the entire thing. And it was actually a pretty good showing. I got to tell you,
I heard it was good. Yeah,
it felt like a kind of an E3 thing. You know what I mean? Because they came out literally the first 3 or 4 games were just like, whoa. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, you guys are, and the whole time I'm going, well, wait, I thought we were here to get the Date and Price. You know why are you showing us more good stuff? I don't understand. This is confusing.
There's more?
Yeah. So, the first one, of course, is so right off the back, they started the show with Final Fantasy 16, sir.
Yes.
And my immediate thing was, this is literally, as I was at first, I was very impressed with what I saw. I assume you saw the trailer or gameplay.
I did see it. Yeah.
My immediate thought was, okay, so basically we're not going to see the second part of Final Fantasy VII Remake for quite some time. Is what you're telling me? That's all I got out of that one, dude.
Wasting our time with this when I specifically told them not to. It has been a proven fact already proven by them, that they cannot make a new Final Fantasy for shit. The higher the number, the worse it is. So you should have stopped to 7 and just finished the fight.
Yes, agreed. 100% agreed. I honestly, it was a great showing for the record. And you know what? I got to tell you, and I don't want to say that that's what it is, but from what I saw, it felt, because I only saw one character fighting for the most part, it felt a little like Dark Souls-ish. I was like, whoa, are we trying something new here? Because it was only one character fighting most of the time, and it was always fighting some sort of new boss. And I was like, ooh, and for the record, Nomura is not involved with this one. So, so that, first off, obviously that means he's off doing Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, hopefully. Yes. I hope. But that also means that New Blood could come in. So maybe, and again, please do not take this as me saying this is what's happening. I'm just saying from the trailer that they showed, I had a small Dark Souls feel to it. Not in the combat, it's just the way it was presented. Which would be interesting. They don't have to go with the whole, being challenging, because that's definitely not what
no, that's not Final Fantasy
16.
That's not what we're asking of
correct.
It.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. but I can definitely see what I don't know. I just felt it. You know what I mean? But overall,
I felt like at first I wasn't sure how I felt about the vibe, because other previous recent Final Fantasy games, including the bad ones like 13 and 15. Mm-hmm. Sorry, 15. You're not a good Final Fantasy. Deal with it. Have at least made an effort on having a particularly interesting world layout or aesthetic. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that, I don't mean like, the frigging humans on all the Final Fantasy games, they always look like porcelain dolls, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Like they haven't gotten to the part where they look believable. Especially in this one, I almost felt like at first, and keep in mind, same thing happened. I felt the same way about Final Fantasy VII. Exactly, I'm describing word by word almost what I said about Final Fantasy VII remake the first time that I saw it in act. I mean, one of the trailers that came out that kind of showed more like the faces and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I was worried because I was like, I don't know, that looks. They kind of have that plasticky look and whatever, and they just fucking blew it out of the water. And I'm sure the same thing will happen here.
Yeah.
My only concern is, uh, Final Fantasy 15 had a particular interesting aesthetic. Final Fantasy 13 had a particular interesting aesthetic. This one, I feel the way it looked, like nothing that I saw sparked anything that looked particularly interesting. It kind of it almost, how it made me feel. If it made you feel like a little bit dark soulsish, well, whatever you mean by that. Uh,
Hmm.
in my case, it was almost um a like a little derivative, almost. Maybe derivative is a strong word.
No, I get
It's
you
kind
because it's going
it.
back into the crystals
Well, I don't mind
and
that.
the
I don't.
medieval feel to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of looked like they were almost going for like, oh, so somebody watch a lot of Game of Thrones, maybe,
Yeah.
and that's cool. That is cool because that could be its own thing. I'm just saying the first time, like it didn't have like the city of Cocoon, for example, on 13, which the first time you see it, regardless of the gameplay being crap, but the first time you see that, and then you see the characters themselves, they kind of look interesting, and then 15. I mean, 15. That world looked very interesting also to be part of. Too bad that it was boring as fuck. So I'm hoping that in this in this one, it just gives you that impression, like, oh, this kind of looks kind of boring and mundane, and ends up surprising us with a great Final Fantasy game. I'm not gonna set my hopes up. Uh, I am more excited, to be honest with you, about remake 2 rather
Hmm.
than another Final Fantasy 16. What I did find kind of like comedic was that at the end of most of the trailers that came. Well, maybe not most of them, but the titles that you will say, "Hey, Final Fantasy 16, wow!" They put exclusive on PlayStation 5, and then a really, really, really fucking unreadable, tiny, tiny fine print, and coming to PC. And I was like,
Oh, oh. Wait a minute. It
it,
didn't say that. It said, hold on. I remember it. It said console exclusive.
God,
That's what it
I
said.
know.
Console exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. You kind of have to read into that, but at that point, like, why make it so ridiculously tiny? Like, what? Oh, you know why? It's because it's a Sony presentation. It's all about the PS5, so they don't want to steal away from it. So that makes sense, I guess. But it was still kind of hilarious that you had to like uh, bring up the magnifying glass to see the fine print to realize.
The yeah, yeah. I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, okay. But it did say no. I will say it being a console exclusive is that's saying something because 15 came to everything. So now it's gone back to being a console exclusive on PlayStation side, and I'm just going, but wait, you just
It's
opened the doors to everybody. I'm talking about Square here. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Obviously PlayStation paid for it, and I get it, but
yeah.
you would figure that Square will go, no, man, let's just put it out there. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know.
they pay for it, obviously, and also it's a time exclusive. So, and also the PC version, yeah, don't expect that to be day one. I can almost
No,
assure you
no, for sure.
it's not gonna be day one. Here's the other part. There's another game that you're gonna mention, uh, that this they almost saying the same thing. It was saying coming on PC, and then they were retracting like, no, it's just a console exclusive, and it's like, yeah, but it's a console exclusive. You're not saying an exclusive, so therefore it will end up on PC as at some point, because that's the same shit that happened with Death Stranding.
Yeah,
the same Stranding. Remember?
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's like but they did that on one of their last ones. Actually, I think it was the one that they first showed off the PlayStation 5. There was a bunch of them that were listed. It said console exclusive, and it's like, I get it. It's still, it's not confusing to me when I see it. I was like, I get it. Okay, so it's for a console, it's only coming to PlayStation. Good. It's also coming to PC. You know what I mean? I get what they're saying in it, but it still has a level of confusion, which I can just go, oh, guys, just skip that. You know what I mean? Say it later. You know, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Well, it's but it's I guess it's kind of silly. Yeah. It's kind of silly at at this point. Like we get it, and it only makes sense. We have already had this discussion. I have never been a fan of exclusives in any part, because I always think that it is kind of like ridiculous and pointless to deprive.
That's what I'm saying.
The other side from playing a good game just because you have some sort of weird, allegiance to X or Y, and whatever. So I looked at it. I was like, yeah, of course, whatever. It doesn't mean it's gonna be like.
I looked at it a little bit shocked. I mean, I was a little bit shocked at it, because I was like, Final Fantasy VII remake is coming to Xbox. Final Fantasy 15 is coming or did come to Xbox. So I was like, why is this one not coming to Xbox? You know, it's like,
guess what?
That's strange to me. You know,
it is just like the other ones were. Honestly, because Final Fantasy 15 didn't come out day and date, or unless I'm misremembering, but I don't think it came out day and date. Yeah, the Xbox
15 I think did. 7 did not, but this one
7 has
this
not.
one
Okay.
Yes, but 7, when they first announced 7, they said 7 coming to PlayStation. Mm-hmm. So it was already set up front that yes, it will come to other consoles, but coming first to PlayStation.
Yeah.
But the ones that they said console exclusive,
they didn't say that.
Yeah.
They didn't say it that way, but they confirmed it that way. It's just gonna be a time exclusive, and then eventually you'll be able to, to play it if you wanna. Okay. Yeah. That was already.
Well, in that case, that's misleading. Then that's definitely misleading, because then it's not a console exclusive. Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, so then, it's a time exclusive. But I don't blame them though, because Microsoft does that same shit. It does.
Oh no, I get it. I think they both
stop. Wink, wink. I get it. It's like, oh god, like kill me.
I get it. The next game that they showed off was some actual gameplay for Spider-Man Miles Morales, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I absolutely loved. First off, ray tracing was spilling all over the place, my friend. I don't know if you saw it there, but
that kind of looks pretty, doesn't it? Huh?
Now, everywhere you go has to have a puddle so we can see the reflection. Everything, it's just like so weird.
Or reflect surface of sorts.
Yeah, we have to have one
because it kind of looks pretty, huh? Now can you guys kind of understand my excitement about RTX? Good thing that RTX is actually coming for the first time this year.
It looks
the beta test that we have for 2 years.
It looks good. I just don't know. I don't know if it's a game changer the way people were saying it was being a game changer. I was like, it looks very good. If it didn't have it, would that make it look worse? I don't think so. I mean,
if you compare, no. Worse in what? In one sense, on what measure? I mean, obviously,
would it look bad without it? Is what I'm trying to say.
No.
Obviously, having it makes it better.
No. But you can make something pretty beautiful. There and why
True,
wouldn't you?
That doesn't make it a game changer. That's all I'm trying to say. Is like, because that was touted to be like, oh, the next thing is ray tracing is going to be a game changer, and I'm like, I mean, it's pretty. I don't know if it's a game changer though. You know what I mean?
What would you consider
a game changer
at this point? I mean, honestly, better better AI, like real AI, will
Yeah,
be like,
I
what
mean,
is a game
well,
changer
not real,
nowadays?
obviously, but
It's, you know what a game changer is? Dealing with
load
lag.
times.
Load
Load
time
times
is a
are a
game changer.
game
Yes,
changer.
absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
that's a game changer.
I agree. That is a fucking game changer. That is absolutely. I'll give you that. Load times are, but which is hilarious because this whole thing of uh well, and anyway, I'm not gonna touch on that. But
Okay.
the no, what I was gonna say is that, Sony was basically marketing this thing as if this was the thing with loading. Is, the loading on this machine is like exclusive to the machine. Nothing else can do that. I own an NVMe card right now that does that. I mean, the games are not programmed for, to do that, but the raw performance is there. Now what you need is put a game that will take advantage of it, and because it's really it's the technology is recent, but it is not something that it can only be accomplished this way or with this console or whatever. I'm hoping that the fact that it is now available on console means a wider adoption on for the mass market, so that we can
Of
start
the thing,
seeing
yeah, yeah.
games that will take advantage of the NVMe technology, because we've had that.
We can
Problem
hope,
is,
but it
the
does.
games have been stuck by
Yeah,
whatever the lowest common denominator owns.
true,
So,
true. But this does look very good. I do have to call out one thing, which I never I never thought it would affect me in any way, and it kind of did in a small way when I saw the very beginning of the trailer. He jumps through his to the fire escape and goes into his room, but on the fire escape there's a Puerto Rican flag, and I'm like, that's cool.
there were many
That's cool.
actually.
There were. We started walking the street, and there's like this party, people dancing salsa on the street, and suddenly I'm like transported back to the Bronx. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I kind of dig, and I hope that Miles Morales's view or his version of New York, because this is more of an expansion than it is a full sequel. So I hope
Mm,
from his view of the city, we see more of where he comes from, because I think that's important. You know what I mean? He's
yeah.
not Peter Parker, and Peter Parker has a job over here, and he was working with in some sort of whatever.
Mm,
That's not most likely where Miles Morales is coming from. So everything should come from that angle, and I
yeah.
think it's important. And I think that's kind of what they're showing off here. So, hey guys, yeah, yes, this is going to be Spider-Man. Yes, it's probably using some of the same technology, but we've updated it to show you that this is coming from his angle, and it really kind of hit home. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
From what I saw, my
Yeah.
question was, where the hell was Peter during the fight that was happening on the bridge? I was
Oh,
like, where is Peter Parker? Because he just like it's snowing,
he
so
just
maybe
gave
he's
up.
on
He's on
Christmas
vacation.
vacation or
He was
something.
like, New York has a new Spider-Man. I don't need to do this shit anymore. Bye.
Yeah, that could be it, right? They take turns. Like, all right, you take Thanksgiving off, I'll take Christmas. We'll be fine. It could be, yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
The next game they showed off is Hogwarts Legacy, and which is the game that the Harry Potter game that's been teased or talked about since like 2018. I think is the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a Harry Potter fan technically. I enjoyed some of the movies.
Mm,
I don't know if you saw this trailer though. And if you didn't, I recommend that you do. Not to say it's going to suddenly make you a fan or like that, but it looks like they really put in a lot of work into this game. This is an open world sort of RPG game that takes place in Hogwarts, many years before Harry Potter and all that. So you kind of create your own character, you become part of the houses and all the normal stuff that you come from from the Harry Potter games, the Harry Potter lore. But it looks good, dude. I was just like, wow, this looks. I'm not saying it's a game I'm going to get, but if you're into Harry Potter, this game is the game to get. This game is the game to get. You know what I mean? It looks. I was like, wow, it looks like they really devoted a lot of resources to really make this game pop, and it did. You know, not for me particularly, but man, you know, it caught my eye. I was like, man,
it has high production values at least.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I would recommend you watching it at some point. You don't have to watch it now, but the next game they showed off, of course, was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Something of interest here. First of all, the gameplay looked pretty good, as usually it does. But something of interest I want to mention is Raven took lead, or appears to have taken lead on this game. Raven Studios is another of the Activision studios. You know that you have Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and Treyarch that lead up the Call of Duty series, and Raven kind of plays like support to them all. But this one seems to be led by Raven, because it was a Raven representative who was on the thing. I was like, holy crap, Raven, wait a minute. This is not one of the three. You know what I mean? And you can kind of see it from the gameplay that just looks a little different. There's a moment where the player stabs someone in the head and then pulls out his gun and shoots him and runs on. And I'm like, whoa, that's not something I've seen. That's almost John Wickish. You know what I mean? It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You know, so
that has happened in Call of Duty game.
Has that happened? Because I recall. I mean,
at one point it was kind of like a joke. Like, oh, okay, this is the person that's gonna betray me at the end of this level. Just watch. He's gonna shoot me in the head.
The story beats. I can see that. This was like a gameplay. This was a gameplay moment that they did.
Oh, you're talking about the multi. Oh yeah, the thing that Call of Duty gamers won.
No. They were showing off the single player. That's all they showed off in the thing was single player. Yeah. So, but it looked pretty good. There was a little RC car moment that was actually pretty cool. So, the next game they showed off was Resident Evil 8, of course, or Resident Evil Village, technically. Cool little trailer. Look forward to it. It looks like they brought back the vendor, the guy, what is it?
The one that will buy it at the worst.
Yeah.
I'll buy it at a high price. Then, you're like the worst vendor ever.
That guy.
You don't know the rules of capitalism, don't you?
Yeah, that guy appears to be back, which looks pretty funny. It's pretty clear that this game is pulling, at least visually, or maybe thematically, from Resident Evil 4, which is pretty cool. Anyway, the next two games I really don't have any interest in, but they showed them off. We had Deathloop, and it showed off some of the gameplay. Gameplay looked interesting. First off, it's Bethesda, and fuck Bethesda. But secondly, it's like, just doesn't really catch my interest, really. And then the next one was Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, coming to the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Devil May Cry fan, but I figured you'd be pretty interested in this.
I'm still shocked. I almost remember back when this was shown before. How you say, oh yeah, that looks good, or that you were. I don't know. Like, I always thought that you liked that series, and that I was the hater.
Yeah, I played part 1, and I think I played a little bit of part 2. That was it. And I never beat any of them. So I only played a little bit of part 2. I never beat the first one, and I never got a desire to go back to. I respected them for they were, third person action, 3D action game, and I was like, okay, this is cool, fast paced, and it's like, oh, okay, but none of it ever drew me in. When they showed off the gameplay for Devil May Cry 5, I remember going, oh, that looks cool. I was like, this looks like cool, and they're bringing back both Dantes, I think, at that point, or some shit like that, and I was like, that's all right, that's cool. So I respected it for what it was, but my interest was never really there. It was just, I was respecting it, basically. I was showing it its due respect. Next game was Oddworld Soulstorm. Not much to say there. It was looked pretty good. Looks like your regular Auto World, really. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Again, I don't know if anybody's name's interested on there. And then not finally, but the next one I am really, really thinking this is going to be one of my early PlayStation 5 purchases, and that is the Demon Souls remake, which they're just calling Demon Souls. It looked good, bro.
Yeah.
That game really, really looked good. I was like, whoa. I'm kind of down with it. Yeah, I'm kind of down with it. Well, I didn't see any reflections, but I'm sure they're out there. But
it's more than to be clear.
Yes,
it's more than reflection. It's light refraction and all. It's not reflections. Reflection, that's like minimizing what it actually does. That's okay. It's you will soon understand when you start seeing graphics that you have never seen on games, and then realize why is it a game changer.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Did you get a chance to look at this trailer? Because this one here
I did. The trailer looked amazing. That was another trailer that it was it was saying, coming also on PC. And
but this one is definitely a console exclusive forever.
For sure. Yeah.
There's no guesswork on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think as amazing that it looks like, I think it's gonna end up being one of those games that I'm gonna start playing and loving it, because I did play actually the original Demon Souls, but I never beat it because at one point it just gets punishing.
Okay.
It just gets punishing.
It didn't look very punishing from the gameplay we saw, but I think they were just trying to get the character to the boss quickly, because I was like, he's just one hitting everybody and they're just falling apart. I'm like, that's not how I remember this game, but okay, So
that was for the that's
for the video. Yeah, I was like, that's video. And of course they showed off Fortnite, because obviously that's coming to like we didn't know that was already coming. So Fortnite, of course, that's coming. Now the next thing they showed was the PlayStation Plus collection, which was I don't know.
That was cool.
I think it was cool. I think it was cool.
Free. They're saying if you're PSN, basically it's a collection of PS4 titles that you can play on your PS5, and it doesn't matter if you own them or not. Now you can just play them, right? That's what I understood. Okay,
that's how. That's
That's almost like bolstering your
library. Yeah, your library.
During shipping. Fuck, I can't speak right now. Okay, let's end this. During the launch. During the launch. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Here's my only nitpick on this. First off, giving free games is always a good thing. I'm never going to say that that's not a good thing. Yes, particularly for those who maybe missed this generation. First off, I don't know why. Anyway, the point is, maybe somebody missed this generation completely, and now if you want to buy a PlayStation 5, you're going to be able to get some of the top games from first party, second party, and third party. And there's some good ones in there too, on top of that. And so I'm like, oh man, that's actually pretty cool. Spider-Man.
Persona 5 is in there.
Persona 5 is in there, but Spider-Man for some reason is missing, for the record. Not sure why, but it's not part of the list. But anyway,
you get it for free if you buy the deluxe edition of Spider-Man Mike Morales.
Okay. So that's probably why. Yeah. So my only issue is this is cool because you're trying to get in those who missed, right? But my question is, what are you doing for those who didn't miss? What are you doing for those who own all those titles? And we own them on PlayStation because we're that loyal fan base. What's the collection for us? Is there a collection for us?
Well, I will argue that someone that you're talking about someone that owns all these titles, like, do you own all the titles that were shown on this? There's got to be something.
The majority I do. The ones I don't, like Mortal Kombat, I don't own. There's a few that I own, but I don't own them because, well, I
You were not
wouldn't
interested
own
on
them
it.
anyway. Yeah. So it was like,
For getting them for
but
free, though. I mean, what I'm trying to say,
it's cool. Yeah,
it's
you'll
that,
get to play them again.
because
Sure.
just like you, I also own the vast majority of these titles, but I don't devalue the fact, and nor do I expect, oh well, just give me what I can, something what I can pick. Because let me tell you something, uh, backwards compatibility, it's not the stronghold. Not that I think they should, it should be the focus, honestly, because we should be forward,
Agreed.
forward thinking, forward ability,
Forward
not
always.
back
Hmm.
focusing.
Yeah.
Um, but but I have no expectation. This to me was a very nice bonus to have. That's a very good game.
It is. It is.
And if
And I
I
don't want
own
to
all
take
these
away
games
from it.
already, I would not expect to. Well, what's in it for me? I have been a loyal, client. Well, yeah, you have been a loyal, and therefore you have already been able to enjoy all these titles. So, you know, I don't know.
True.
Someone might be coming new to the PlayStation platform.
What I'm saying, that's exactly who it's for.
Yeah,
It's for that person who hasn't been here, and that's great for that person who hasn't been here. So they never spend anything on PlayStation 4 the entire life cycle, and on PlayStation 5 they get PlayStation 5, and they get a bunch of titles, a bunch of marquee titles on top of
yeah,
that,
yeah.
just immediately. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but I've been here. Do I get anything? Is there any of those titles that maybe you didn't have?
You get more to come back. It's more to come back. Has a good.
You're right.
It's
Yeah,
a
I
good
hear it's
first,
good. Yeah,
story.
yeah.
If anything, it's a good
I
story.
hear it's good. I will take advantage of it, for the record. So I'm not saying I won't, but it felt a little like a half measure for me, for
Don't
where I
worry.
sit. You know what I
The
mean?
whole, the entire backward compatibility on PS5 feels like
Is a
a
half
half
measure.
measure. So,
Yeah, yeah, it is.
don't worry.
Yeah, it sure is.
Considering that
Finally. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I was just gonna drop this in the middle, real quick, which is the fact that it has already been confirmed that PS5 won't be compatible with PS3, PS2, or PS1 games. Um, which going bringing it forward to the fact that, hey, we're gonna have, now all games are digital, and I'm just gonna get the digital version of the console. Well, that's great and all. I like digital because my PC games are digital, but I could play my digital collection on PC. I can play for as long as Windows is available, which I can almost bet that it's gonna be available for quite some time, and even then some. I can bust, like right now. I can start Half-Life 2 if I wanted to, or maybe an older game that I have. I think Half-Life 2 might have been the first game that I got, on Steam. But you can, or soon enough, you won't be able to do that on your PS5 games when the PS7 comes out. That's an example. Just throwing it out there, that
Hmm.
that digital only has its drawbacks. Consider it. And I know it sounds weird coming from me, which I have accepted the digital lifestyle, but it doesn't mean that I am like I couldn't bring myself to do it. I can't bring myself to do it with this generation. I don't know
I,
why.
I I am, yeah, I am all in on it because I lately I'm looking forward. You know what I mean? Control is the one that I keep going back to for whatever reason, but it's that game is. I think the more and more I'm not going to talk about it, but the more and more I realize I really think I love that game more than I actually gave it credit for, even early on. But anyway,
If you haven't
so
played it recently. Oh
the
god, yeah, continue.
I have played it recently. That's what I'm saying.
That game's
But
good. It's not super.
I think it's great. Anyway, the my point is to say that generally I'm looking forward anyway. You know what I mean? I'm looking for what I've realized is I think I'm always looking for that new experience, that thing that makes me go, oh man, I didn't think this could happen, or I didn't think this would be available, or I didn't think anybody would make something like this. More and more, and when I have games that kind of does what other games do, and I'm just stuff going, oh, well, this is good, but yeah. it's been done before, or it's been done this way, you know. And I think that's fine. I think at some point, and I think that's why I don't really care about backwards compatibility. Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to play PlayStation 2 games. I don't want to play PlayStation 2, so remake the game, and I'll buy it again. You know what I mean? I'd rather do that.
Yeah,
like they did with Shadow of the Colossus. You know what I mean? It's like just remake
recently with Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Give it to Blue Point Games; they'll fix it up, and I'll play it. And I'll buy.
I feel like that is that's like a 180 into how you used to feel about it. Because even back maybe 3 years ago, let's say maybe more than that, you were not on board with just the digital only lifestyle, and if anything, you gave example of how you replay older games, and you actually tended to do that. You will replay older games.
I have less and less time. I think that's really what it comes. And you know me, I am obsessed with time. And so I realize I have less and less time. So it's like, and I try to. Don't get me wrong. I do try to revisit some games, but I look at them and go, I can't revisit The Witcher 3 as much as I would love to. I would love to revisit it, but I just cannot do it. It will never happen. And it's one of those things I think I'm realizing the more and more that I'm more accepting of it now. Is what I'm. It was the case before when I was doing. It's like I'm just wasting time here replaying something I already played. That was in my head the whole time. You know what I mean?
I will tell you that, and you'd be like, "No, man," but
I was denying it. Yeah, I was like, "No, dude, no. I need to replay this so that when I play the new one, I have all that fresh whatever in my head."
Yes,
Little did I know, I could just go to YouTube and get a quick refresher on something. You know what I mean? That's all I needed to do.
That's true. That is so true.
Anyway, so my point is to say that I realize. I think I'm realizing more that it really has to do with just the lack of time. And it's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to invest in a new experience rather than revisit an old one. And not to say I won't try, and not to say it's like I do it all the time with movies, but movies are easily done. Why? Because they're 2 hours long.
2 hours.
You know, it's like it's an easy, quick way to go back to something. So anyway, guys. The price and the date. We're finally here.
For those of you who don't know yet.
The PlayStation 5 disc version will be retailing at $499 US. And then the PlayStation 5 digital edition will be retailing at $399 US. And they will both be coming to the US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea, all on November 12th, followed by a worldwide release on November 19th. Interesting time frame for it, right? Because we're all like, well, they can try to undercut them, but I don't think they will because that'll be too close. But if they go too far, then because I really think that Microsoft chose a perfect date for being on the 10th, November 10th. I was like, wow, that is perfect. It's on a Tuesday when games come out.
Yeah.
So much so that Valhalla moved up because of it. I'm like, ooh, that was a good move. I think this was a good spot to put it on, knowing that the other one was coming out on the 10th. What do you think?
What was it? What was the date again?
November 12th.
November 12th.
Which is a Thursday, which is a weird day.
But wait, there's a 2-day window?
Well, 2-day window, yeah.
Holy shit! Yes, I didn't think of that because I didn't have the Xbox the Xbox date in my head at this moment. I honestly didn't give it much thought when it was announced because, again, the moment that I was gonna jump into pre-order, and I was like, no, I'll wait. But wow, that is cutthroat. That is.
So immediately,
that is cutthroat way too close to.
Immediately, you go, okay, so you can now. For the record, I am still in on the Series S. For the record, Um, but that's also because I can. I have the, you know, I'm in a good position where I can get both of them.
Mm.
Um, but many people can't. So when you look at it and you go, well, if you can only do one, do you do the S? Sure, you'll get the instant library, which includes EA. Or do you just say, well, let me hold on 2 more days, pocket another
Yeah.
$100, get the digital version, and get next gen. Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
you also get that library that we just mentioned. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
collection.
exactly.
Uh,
I
you
feel like
know,
that was one of the reasons why they
I think so too.
included it there. It's not
I
out
think
of the
so too. Yeah.
you know out of their hearts. Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
very cutthroat move. That this might as well be releasing the same day at this point, because it feels that way. I mean, what is 2 day? What is a 2 day different? If I was wondering like, oh, maybe, but what if I then don't, uh, if I have the budget already for 299 for
299.
Xbox,
Yeah.
yeah, what is another $100
What's another $100? Yeah.
to
You already
have?
had it over, and you know
Yes,
now, two
yeah,
months
yeah, yeah,
away.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, well, shit, I
This,
was
this is
already gonna.
this is what, and sorry guys, but you even the staunchest uh Sony fanboy, uh they kind of have to look, if you want to say, back and thank Microsoft for releasing at the price range that they released, because that definitely put the pressure on Sony,
Mhm.
to bring the price to a level that it is more than reasonable. Is actually unexpected. Like, I will consider this their 2013, 399 for PS4. Like, I will definitely consider. Why? Because you're getting true next gen, absolutely true next gen, on a machine that, regardless of what the reports say, oh, it costs $300 to make. No, bullshit. Because it's not about, well, it's not the cost of you can't take the cost of materials, add them all up, and say, well, it costs $200 to build a PS5, so they're getting $100 profit by selling it or a $200 profit by selling it at $400. Therefore, that they're not losing money. That is not the way to think about this, because you have to take into consideration that it's not the build cost of material. It's not the build of materials. It is the factories. It is the workers. It is the marketing. The marketing is
The
like
shipping,
the
yeah, because you
major
got to get them
point.
over here. Yeah.
One of the biggest part of the budget of building and that it is already factored in the price of the console, is it's the marketing. So you can't say, well, it costs $200 or $300 to make a PS5, so they're making money. No, you can bet your sweet asses that this is something that Sony is taking a
Ahead.
large cut,
Mhm.
a large hit. Yeah, a large hit. And again, for the reasons already mentioned, and they were willing to do it to be competitive with Microsoft, which is also taking its own hit, but they're doing it in a staggered way, right? They're saying, well, we're not gonna go, crazy like Sony and offer a powerful machine for a very low price, which is why I think that the PlayStation, at the end of the day, that PlayStation Digital is like your best option, for if you want to go into next gen, unless you don't have the budget,
Mhm.
or you have the means of also getting into the Xbox ecosystem via the Xbox Series S. Um, I think the Sony value proposition is like way beyond better.
At 399 for a
At three
true
ninety
next
nine.
gen, yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So Microsoft is doing it's staggering. It's saying it's doing it staggered. I mean, it's saying, well, Xbox Series X costs a shit ton to do, and we're pricing it at what is it, $500?
Yeah,
Um,
49. Yeah,
yeah, and we are. I'm sure that's still because this is also early technology, so it always costs more at first, and then they reduce the cost of manufacturing as they develop better tools and stuff like that. But Microsoft also taking the hit, but they're not taking the brunt that Sony is taking the brunt because they're selling their low offer, the low offering, the low entry
hmm
thing. Whether Sony is saying no, we're not gonna take any compromises on that. You're gonna get the same power that you get on the PlayStation fat. I don't want to call it the PlayStation Blu-ray.
disc with a disc. Yeah,
Yeah, the non-digital. I don't know what they call it. It's and that's why at the end of the day, bro, I think this was a fantastic move on Sony's part to price it at this range, and that would not have happened in a million years if it wasn't for the fact that Microsoft had an entryway at $299. If it wasn't for that Xbox Series S that you guys are laughing about, it's underpowered, like that's the best. Like, la, 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 la. Yeah, the reason why that is out is the reason why you can now fucking afford your PlayStation 4, motherfucker. So shut the fuck up and give thanks and then move along. it's called it's called capitalism. It's called a competitive market. That is the reason you don't want one over the other. You want them both competitive. I
yeah.
have spoken.
Well done, sir. Well done. I agree pretty much with everything that you said there. I am into the digital version. I heard recently that they're actually making less of the digital version, which is a little frustrating to me.
Mm,
Um, so I'm hoping that that's not a thing because I really do want the digital version. But I am also into the Series S. So I mean, easily I'm looking at a $700 buy-in just for the two. Um, and I'm okay with it.
yeah.
But if you can only do just one, then yes, this was a brilliant move to make and we all know that the difference of a disk drive is not $100. You know what I mean?
No.
So they undercut themselves just to say, hey guys, and in a way, if you look at it, in a way, they also win by you doing the all digital version because
Yes.
guess what? You don't have to go to a third party, whatever. You're going to come directly to us. You know what I mean? So,
That's right. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
and, yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's a brilliant move. It
hmm
secures that you will always be buying digitally directly from them,
Yeah.
and I
Which costs
mean,
them a lot less money.
yeah, it's exactly less cost on their thing. There's no
Mhm.
packaging and there's nothing shipping and all that. No, it's all
Yeah.
digital. Here you go. And the game prices have apparently gone up.
Yeah.
What I mean? Which
Yeah.
we kind of already
I
knew. You know.
Yeah, that was kind of like,
Oh, I
see,
had I had no doubts that this was going to happen. This was a
no,
rumor that was
no, no.
happening for the longest. Yeah.
But I'm thinking, yes, but I'm disappointed to see that. Obviously, as I know,
I
we
mean,
don't want
anybody
things
would
going,
be. No one wants to pay
going
more.
up. But considering that they're saying like, oh, it's just having it at less, it's not marketable anymore or not feasible anymore. It's like bullshit, guys. I mean, obviously, this is you guys are losing money on the hardware and you make the money on the software. That makes perfect sense. That's 100%. Uh, you have to take the money, from somewhere. I just find it. I don't know. Like I see that I almost very rarely I pay full price for a game now because when I get the opportunity to get it on PC, it's usually marked down already, or because I try to look for
The
for the
deal.
sales, for the
Yeah.
deals. Uh, at $70 per per game. I mean, forget you. You open the doors basically. Now it's gonna happen. Now it's for sure. Now it's for sure. This is
Oh
the new
no, for
life.
sure.
It's gonna change.
I had zero doubt. Yeah, the
And
moment I think,
Microsoft people don't. It is gonna happen to you too. Just
yeah. Don't
deal
think
with
that.
it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite, guys, will be $79.99.
It will
Oh,
be
69.99. Excuse me, 69.
69.99. Exactly. Exactly.
So don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I agree. It sucks, in some ways when you look at it like, oh man, that's and I also get the other side, the inflation argument, right? Where $60 is no longer the same $60 they were from 10 years ago.
That's
You
true.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's true.
And that is also something to consider.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, when you look back and you paid $50 10 years ago, well, that $50 technically cost you more, if you really look at it based on the. So I get all the arguments. Visually, it's something that hits you. You go, ooh,
Yeah.
$69.99. Okay.
Let's
But
get. You better assure me that it's not gonna have bugs, right?
well, I mean, first party, you can definitely Sony first party for the most part, I think is pretty good. But yeah, everybody else, and Xbox first party as well. For the record, the first parties generally are pretty good when it comes to the bug things. Third party, it all depends, but it all depends what you get. Last thing that they showed off at the show, which really wasn't much, but it was a teaser for the God of War sequel that they labeled as Ragnarok, and they had the audacity to lie to us and say 2021, where I know, everyone listening knows that motherfucker is going to get delayed into 2022.
Yeah, without a
At
doubt. You heard it
minimum.
first. You know
Yeah.
what? You might as well take it for granted right now. We're telling you right now, God of War 2022. Uh,
In my notes,
it is what it
as I was watching the show, because I was taking notes because I'm
is.
stupid that way. So I have a lot of weird things like like when the Fortnite came out, I typed in who cares about Fortnite. That's exactly what I typed in. I have these little things to kind of give you the angle that I was going on. Like two back to back. Still not interested in Deathloop. Still not interested in Devil May Cry. This is what I put in as I'm writing my notes. And then I put for God of War. God of War Ragnarok delayed.
Oh, delayed.
Exactly what I put. I'm like, oh, that's just gonna get fucking delayed. 2021, get the fuck out of here. That is bullshit if I've ever heard.
Come on.
Come on. That said, I'm pretty stoked that they're, I mean, I knew there was going to be another one, but at the same time, I'm pretty stoked that it's in the works, and they showed off. They didn't show anything off. They just showed the title.
It was literally, yeah.
Literally just symbols. Now after the show, some stuff came out which I'm not too happy about, or I guess maybe I'm just indifferent. Sony has announced that there's a couple of titles that were quote unquote next gen exclusives because we believe in generations, right? That's been their go-to statement. There's a couple titles that are also be coming to PlayStation 4. And Miles Morales is one of them, Sackboy's Big Adventure, and the one that really hit me, Horizon Forbidden West. I was sure that was going to be a solely next gen title, and now, knowing that it's going to be sort of anchored to last gen, you kind of have to go, well, then how next gen is the next gen title really going to? I mean, we were just
Ray Tracy, bro.
What?
Ray Tracy, bro.
I guess. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, right? It's going to have a lot more visually striking things, but it's just like, is it being held back? Is my concern, because I thought, particularly with that title, Miles Morales, you could probably have guessed the fact that it's a launch title coming out right when the console's coming out. You can almost go like, oh, I can see them making a PlayStation 4 version.
Yeah. The gameplay itself it looks prettier, but it looks like a prettier version of
exactly.
Title that they could have actually done. You know what? And by going by the prowess of programming that they have demonstrated,
Mhm.
I wouldn't doubt that that game would have come out on PS4 almost looking like that sans there's ray tracing. Like I can
Agree.
see it. I can
Agree.
definitely
Yeah.
see it.
Agree. As a matter of fact, I think we can probably agree that that would have been our initial thought that we would
Yep.
have gotten, because it's not a sequel. It's just a Lost Legacy, right? Like Uncharted Lost Legacy. It's
Yeah.
just another spin-off title. So it's like, well, if that's the case, then it's probably already made for PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
So that one was
Exactly.
easy to accept. You know what I mean? Because it was only, oh, by the way, it's $50, $49.99. So forty
Yeah.
nine ninety nine is the new $39.99.
39.99,
You know what I
49.99.
mean? So
Except
get used to that
except that my
too.
version cost my version ended up costing me because I didn't pre-order a PS5. But you bet your ass I pre-order a game. I pre-order one game, and that game is Marvel Spider-Man Mike Morales Ultimate Launch Edition
Nice.
for the PlayStation 5, which
So you got
comes
the
with
hot one, yeah.
I got the hot one. Yeah, I don't. Right now it says currently unavailable, so that should tell you. And it
Mm,
costs $69.99. So
69.99.
hey,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. 69.99. It's the new 69.99.
Yeah. It's the new just title, right? Basically. It's the main AAA amount. But no, man, I'm still going back to Horizon. I'm just like, I feel like that that one was a hit.
Yeah,
I took that one as a hit and that I was just reading up and going through news, and I was just like, wait, what? That's also
yeah.
coming to PlayStation 4?
That
Wait a
tells you
minute.
how much difference is this really going to be?
These initial games, no, not much at all.
Yeah,
I'm calling it. Uh,
yeah.
uh, Demon Souls is not on that list for the record. So that is PlayStation 5 only. Um, so that also explains why it looks really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, no wonder that looks good, because they were able to just go all out with it. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, we haven't seen what Horizon Wild, what is it called? Wild West? What the fuck was it called? I forget what it
Horizon,
was called.
Horizon.
Um Frozen West?
Oh, Frozen.
Horizon
Oh,
Forbidden West, Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. Yeah,
Um
I haven't seen.
that's
We didn't see
yeah,
that.
we haven't seen any
They
gameplay
need to
of
leave
it.
some
So
before that December thing. They need to.
yeah,
They need to
perhaps,
keep
yeah.
it. And what best? And it's gonna be about the Frozen Wilds. So I mean, not the Frozen Wilds. Because they're older. Never mind me.
You've
No,
had some slips today, sir. I'm actually enjoying it.
I haven't. I haven't. We haven't. Well, I haven't drank anything. You,
I
on the other
cannot say the same. I am on vacation, so I'm drinking it up.
hand, drinking it on salud, mofo. No,
uh,
the Horizon. I mean, let's look at Horizon was already an amazing title. It's an
mhm.
amazing feast that the feat that they were able to do on PlayStation 4. Uh, you say Demon Soul looks amazing. That looks like a proper Demon Souls title. Well, motherfucker, Demon Souls was a PlayStation 4 game. So the only thing that makes you go ooh ah is the fucking ray tracing that you're not seeing as a game changer. Yet that is the sole thing that you're making the differentiation as. Oh well, this is next gen.
No,
So
Demon Souls was an early PlayStation 3 game.
even better,
It wasn't a PlayStation 4
even more.
game.
Improve my case even further, please.
Is it? Because let me tell you, take gameplay of Demon Souls original in PlayStation 3 and Demon Souls what we saw, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're night and day. And I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
true.
ray tracing helped, but
Yeah.
take that ray tracing
Wait,
away, and it's still night and day.
yeah, it is
So
still added. It
yeah,
is still added because who would have thought 60 frames per second gameplay?
oh
Huh?
dear lord, it only
Gee.
took 5 generations of PlayStations and Xboxes to finally get here. You know what
No,
I mean?
don't worry. Hey, Ubisoft. I'm sure Ubisoft will have legions to show running at a very solid 30
30.
frames per
Yeah,
second. You know?
fuck them for real. I'm just like, I'm just done with Ubisoft. I really just realized that they're making games for people that are not me.
Really, they
They're
have.
making open world games that are 90 hours. I'm like, so basically, you're not making
Listen,
anything that I'm interested in. The only
I
thing they
will
had
say,
that was interested in was Ubi art, and they don't fucking do any of those anymore. So what the hell?
listen, son. I will
Mhm.
say the same if it wasn't for the fact that I've been playing a lot of Division 2, and and they have so far given me 2 free games. I'm
Oh, look
getting
at that.
Valhalla, and now with the purchase of this video card, I'm getting Legions.
So basically, what you're saying is that
They're popping,
you
yeah.
are purchasable.
I'm saying that you can say to me. So basically, what you're saying is you be soft because you're being soft. Get it? I need
Nice,
to help you there. Yeah,
nice.
I got more.
Oh man.
No, I don't.
That's actually all I have, sir. Did you have
No,
any final thoughts on
no. I
anything?
mean, yes. I would say this is. I mean, it is phenomenal to see. This have got. It's weird because as exciting. I'm excited about the next generation consoles finally, hitting and final being a realization. And we have seen the power, we have seen what they could do, and seeing both companies price it, uh, you know, competitively, it makes me happy because the whole thing with the coming of the next gen consoles was, oh shit, these consoles are gonna be expensive. Oh shit, don't be surprised if they expect. Oh shit, I heard that there's rumors that Sony's considering 699 or 599 or whatever that whatever those rumors were. Uh, I am glad to see that they ha- bo- both of companies have really hit it out of the park with the respective pricing. It's what we it's I would almost say it is better than we expected because I need to hear I need to listen to the older podcasts, but I was probably saying somewhere like 449 or something like that for the digital, right?
Yeah,
And no, it's $400. I mean, they did it again. They
yeah.
they did
They
uh,
did it
they
again.
did the PlayStation 4 reveal pricing thing without being. I feel like this time, like last time, it was so easy to take pot shots at Microsoft, right? Because Microsoft came in with a TV, and it's gonna be
Mhm,
locked and it's digital only. Oh, funny, it's digital only. Hello, and
mhm.
the people were not ready for that. But hey, Sony
But
has the
now they
console
are.
now. The digital is like people are like, oh yeah, it's fine, everything's okay. In Sony we trust, no, but in all fairness, it's a definitely better proposition than you can't. Well, shit, no, I guess not, right? Because you can't. If you go all digital, how are you gonna lend me games?
The same way I
How are
lend you
you gonna
games
rent
now.
games? How are you gonna rent games?
Oh,
Holy
you're not
shit!
renting games. That's not happening anymore,
You
guys.
see what I'm,
Let me
you
tell
see
you.
what I'm
Let me
saying?
tell you. This
How are
also.
you gonna buy used games?
I was gonna say this also just like
This is
immediately
nailed.
put
It's
the
nailed.
nail in the
It's
coffin.
nailed. The coffin. GameStop is done. Sell your stock. Fine. Start preparing your resumes. I am sorry. I don't wish anybody bad, but it's just GameStop is in a
It's a sinking
bad
ship. It's a
situation
sinking ship.
right now. It
And
is.
frankly, no offense, not for nothing, but if you work there, you have to have known this was imminent. You know, and
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to have known by this. If you're working there, that means you are literally part of the industry. So
Yeah.
you would know, hey, this is imminent.
Yeah.
So n- not saying it still sucks. Obviously you're going to
Yeah.
see some. I mean, it's already been closures anyway. You're going to see a
Yeah.
massive closures because
Pandemic didn't help. So
the
yeah.
the oh on top of that, yeah. That's another thing. That was the first nail. This is the
Yeah.
last nail. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree. So
Yeah, yeah, but I say that I think they handle their. I guess they have the final say, and they said it, and the Fat Lady song, and it was a great musical overall among the two camps.
Yep.
I think it was really good. Uh,
Agreed. Agreed.
and Dak, we're just ready for the next gen finally. I feel, however, where Sony had a major catastrophic faux pas
Oh, yeah, for
of
sure.
apocalyptical measures was on the way they handle their pre-orders. The important thing that's gonna assure that you have a console the day that you want to have the console on day one, for for not only the Sony enthusiasts, but the people that are also coming into it new. The Sony camp. It was. I mean, the headline said it was a clusterfuck. When you
Yeah,
see a headline
yeah,
saying like literally, the Sony pre-orders were a clusterfuck,
yep.
and having experienced it, and I believe you experienced it because Mad Dog, did you had any luck
No,
securing?
I did not. I did
But
not at all. And
you
yes,
went
I
for it.
tried. Yeah, yeah.
You
I was gonna
tried.
say. I've been still trying, and I even have Amazon ready to send me
You're
notifications.
F5ing. You're
Yeah,
F5ing.
at fiving through my phone, and everywhere I go, and it's like, okay, I'm just and somebody posted something like, oh, Walmart's having the
Pre-orders open
thing,
again.
the who posted it? I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but somebody posted, oh, Walmart's gonna have the pre-orders at 9 p.m. on Thursday,
Hmm.
and I posted running this, yes, but they also posted that they ran out of supplies on 9:01 p.m. Wednesday, the day before. You know what I mean? So I was like,
Right now,
yeah,
whatever you're pre-ordering right now is not gonna be for day one.
no,
Because
it's
that
not.
just talking
And
about.
like I said, I'm okay with it, but at the same time, this was so. First off, nothing was mentioned during the show how pre-orders were working. It
No,
was Jeff Keighley who tweeted after the show, "Oh, hey,
who
pre-orders
tweeted?
start the next." Yeah, tweeted. Then that the pre-orders will start the next day. And shortly after that, he tweeted, "Oh, we're receiving reports that some places are already starting the pre-orders." So it was like,
So he didn't even
so
know himself. He did
well,
not even
he's
know.
going by information that's being given to him. You know, what I mean? So he's just reporting.
Dude,
So
I
yeah,
tell you, the way I did not watch the PlayStation announcement. The only reason I realized was because I was already on my computer F5ing through a bunch. I told you, through a bunch of websites for this for the 3080 card, and I received an email from, I want to say it was Best Buy, saying, "Oh, by the way, you can pre-order the PS5 now." And I was like completely out of the blue, like, wait, what? Because I knew there was an Sony announcement happening. So I was like,
hmm
oh, okay. So they finally said it. I just got a notification now. I know that shit is it's done already. So I'm probably gonna miss on it, but let me check. And sure enough, it was there. It was still showing that I could get it, and I tried to get it several times, and
never happened.
it was
Yeah,
it didn't happen. That the moment that I felt like it was gonna happen, because it already took me as far as it was gonna take me. I just needed to place the order. That's when I was like, I had a change of heart. I was like, oh no, I'm already spending money, on this stupid card that I might not even get. So let me get let me get this first, and then I'll get the PlayStation when the storm settles. Which, the
agreed.
way it looks right now, it might be past the holiday season.
Oh, it will be. For me, I'm just like, yeah, it will be, and it is what it is. I'm like, I'm sure not gonna fucking pay scalper prices. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
gonna be what it has to be. And I mean, it is what it is. But yes, they really screwed up.
You know who was smart?
The
They,
Xbox.
Angel Campos from the. I don't know if is he on the group.
Or he is on the group. That's who posted. Hey, that's who posted the Walmart thing was at 9, and I
yes. So he actually got he got a pre-order from Target of all places, and I'm like, of course, everybody rushes to the same three: Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart, or GameStop, and people forget the other stores that are also major retailers that you could get stuff, you could get electronics. Like, of course, Target. Like, I had a moment, like, of course, I gotta just go to Target or
the sad part is that
Target online.
Yeah, with Walmart, you got to be careful because Walmart will cancel your shit like days after going, oh, by the way, we don't have it in stock. We have to cancel this order. So if you happen to have a Walmart one, just keep an eye on it.
Of them all.
Yeah, just keep an eye on it. It may not, it may not hang on. Hopefully it does, but
I feel like it should. I mean, if they're already announcing new stock, they're gonna. That means that they probably have enough to fulfill. That they already have enough to, sorry, not that they have, because they don't have shit yet. That they have an allocation, a claim, of systems for.
Let's hope. Let's hope. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. This brings us to the end of an awesome episode 229. The real, of course, 229. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week, saying please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. And of course, if you're listening to this on any of the podcast services that are available, please like, subscribe, share the podcast with all your friends. We'll be signing off this week, also saying, please continue to wear your masks. It is important. Be part of the solution, not the problem. Mr. Santos, take us home.
I was kind of surprised that we were done. I felt like there was more to talk about. Yeah, you think about it, I was like, oh, I guess we're wrapping up. I don't want to go because then it's quiet suddenly.
Then it's over. Like,
you're not here anymore, and I don't hear you on my.
I know. Here's something funny that I don't know if I should say this here, but basically, I for my team, the last 2 days, yesterday and today, I cooked and I delivered food for them. Uber Eats style.
Oh, no way! Really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
awesome.
And
God
so,
damn it, you're a good soup. Why can't you give me my soup? Damn it!
Well, first off, I think there's a conflict of interest somewhere in there. The conflict of interest. But secondly,
we could be fighting. We could be no, actually, because then you give me a bad review.
So anyway, so. That's awesome. That's what I did.
Cool.
The last
you drove to all the houses.
Yeah, don't go
like Santa Claus.
Yeah, don't go mentioning anything like that. But yeah, that's kind of the last two things that I did. But it was cool. My point was that it was cool to see people. Because I haven't seen people. It's just like I see the same people all the time. I haven't
seen you since March.
I know. Oh, and by the way, I think I was like close to you. And I was like, man, I should probably stop by. But I didn't want. It was unexpected, and then I didn't know. And then I needed to come back,
bro.
But I also needed to come back because the aide is here only to a certain amount of time, and Joe still works. So from a certain time, she's not able to help out, and her mom's just in the room by herself. So in case, I needed to come back. So it's the world I live in at the moment. So. That's kind of, we're still recording. I don't know why I'm saying this. Still recording, but anyway, the point is to say that I was nearby and it was cool to see everybody and
that's still amazing. If suddenly we don't have the voice anymore, the podcast is over. It's like, what am I gonna do? I don't have anything to look forward right now. Unless I go, you know what? I'm gonna go back to Reddit. To the Nvidia Reddit and start looking at the poor stabs that are still F5ing.
They're still trying.
Yeah,
you're gonna mentally dangle one in front of them, like.
Oh, I posted that I was able to get in, but more as I hope don't lose faith, brother. You can still get one.
Nice.
Just
Be the voice. Be the voice of hope. I like it. I like it.
Be the voice of hope. There you go. I'm gonna be Princess Leia, and that's gonna be my slogan. That's the way I'm closing.
Nice,
Guys.
nice.
Be the voice of hope. Also share and subscribe.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
GG!